044-7033 or 020-549-986-996, 054-986-999. We are live on 97.3 City FM. We're on YouTube and the rest of our socials. This morning, there are a few things we will look at. The president this week addressed the nation through the press, his first media encounter in his second term in office. It has come at a good time. A number of issues were raised, and he tried to provide answers to those issues. Question is, were you satisfied or impressed with the level of questioning, the kinds of questions that journalists put to the president? Number two, were you impressed with the answers given by the president? Was the president on top of his game? Did the answers satisfy you? Were those the answers you were expecting? Then we zoom into the meat of it, really. A number of things he said. He spoke on the economy. He talked about the strength of the cedi, and that the cedi was correcting, at some point. He also says that the country is not in a hurry, or he is not in a hurry to return to the capital market. What do you make of that? And a few other things he said around the economy. In his view, the economy was performing okay. Do you share the same sentiments? He said major indicators of the economy were looking good. Inflation, exchange rates, etc. were looking good. Also, the matter of Galamsey came up big time. Were you impressed with the president's responses to the Galamsey question when he was asked about the state of economy, state of emergency? That was said some time ago to be imposed on the country or the Galamsey areas. He did not seem to be in favor of that. Has anything changed? What was his statement, or what were his thoughts before election 2024 in respect of state of emergency? And what is the situation now? Has it been consistent? What the civil society is saying about that? We'll look at all of that and also try to understand really what the state of emergency really is. Party chairman Asini said he didn't think that we had reached a place where state of emergency should be imposed on those areas. The president appeared to be saying the same thing, that we've not exhausted the opportunities, or have not exhausted the measures we have yet. So he thinks that we should exhaust those measures, and then if those fail, then we look at imposing a state of emergency on it. We'll look at what the state of emergency really is and why it appears a difficult thing for any government or politician to agree to. We saw that in the previous government. It was a difficult issue for the Adonoo government to agree to a state of emergency, even though civil society and other political actors, including the NDC, were pushing for that. Now it's the turn of the NDC, and they appear not to be able to be pushing for the state of emergency. We will try and understand what it is. After that, utility players want some huge increases in their tariff rates. Ghana Water Company wants 280%. ECG wants some 225%. Ghana Gas wants 91%. Ghana Grid Company wants some 130%. Why do they want all of these? In the case of the water company, they say Galamsey and other matters have made purifying water or treating or processing water more expensive. ECG, as always, I've talked about losses they incur and the fact that they need to change their equipment and be state of the art and all of that. They want to raise that reflects the market realities. But it doesn't appear that they will have that. The president also said that the fact that they've asked for it doesn't mean that they will get it. What is realistic? What must they be given so they keep working, so our lights are on, our taps flow, and we are happy as a people? So this is what we have for you this morning. I'll take a short break. I'll return, provide some updates, introduce my guests, and then we'll have the discussion underway. Again, my name is Selorm Adonoo. The show is The Big Issue. It is live and interactive, and we do it with you. Don't go away.
Announcing Ghana's first unlimited photocopier leasing. Yes, from just 983 Ghana cedis, you can lease a multifunctional photocopier and print unlimited. Yes, unlimited and free paper every month. Guess what? That's not all. Toners, repairs, and maintenance all are free. And oh, I'm not kidding at all. And we cover the whole country. Yes, the whole country. What are you waiting for? Just visit us at www.valexlease.com or call 0244 644048. Remember, terms and conditions apply. Valix Lease, affordable document management solutions.
The City Business Olympics is back! It's all about team building, networking, and staying healthy. Which game will your company participate in this year? Is it 7-a-side football, volleyball, swimming, basketball, or sack race? Rally your teammates and get ready for action. Date, Saturday, September 27, 2025. Time, 8 a.m. Venue, Eden Heights Sports Complex. Call 0558-973-973 to register your company today. Let's keep fit, grow connections, and enjoy a day full of energy and excitement. The City Business Olympics 2025 is powered by City FM with support from Channel 1 TV, and it's proudly sponsored by UMB Bank and supported by Bethel Logistics.
Joining us this week on the Upside Down Show is the Miracles Abuaje. He's seen as one of the powerful communicators for his party. But did you know this about him?
So when did you know this, my mother?
I think that was somewhere class 4, 5. It was quite interesting. So one of my cousins, I think at that time, who knew, actually insulted me. You know, I think I remember that time he called me a bastard or something. It's okay, it's fine.
Of course.
I went to the village at that time on vacation. You know, long vacations.
Yeah.
We go to the village, the cuckoo and all of that. Then we are not the cuckoo. I said, oh, but why is he calling me a bastard?
When he found his dad, it was too late.
So you never met that man?
I never met him. I think the only time I met him, you know, funny enough, was last year, August, September, thereabout. But I met his obituary.
Oh, he died.
Also joining us on the show is the IPD Academy. So, make a date with us this Sunday at 7 p.m. prompt, only on Channel 1 TV.
In a world filled with challenges, we all need guidance, hope, and a lifeline to anchor us.
This is Lifeline, and I'm your host, Fred Crunchy Mensah.
From social issues, relationship challenges, and family matters, Lifeline is here to inspire, uplift, and guide you on your journey.
Where we give you support, where we hold your hand through the valley and through the thick and thins of life.
Join Bishop Fred Crunchy Mensah.
I welcome you especially to Lifeline.
Every Tuesday and Thursday at 10 p.m. right here on Channel 1 TV. Let's walk this path together, strengthen our faith, our families, and our lives. Lifeline, because every soul deserves a guiding light. Tune in to Lifeline on Channel 1 TV and let's grow together. It's time to promote volunteerism, active citizenship, and patriotism in Ghanaian society.
Where we shine the here, you are actually serving because you are giving up your time and resources for nothing in return.
Volunteers TV, Sunday at 6:30 p.m. only on Channel 1 TV.
You're welcome back. This is a big issue on 97.3 City FM, also on Channel 1 Television, on YouTube, and the rest of our socials. I am Selorm Adonoo. The main issue we are looking at this morning really is the president's encounter with the media. But a number of things came up in that encounter. First of all, we'll just do a quick round on the questioning and the responses quickly. Then we'll delve into the matters proper. He talked about the economy. He said the economy was doing well. They are not in a hurry to return to the capital market, and that the city was correcting and getting to a level that was acceptable. It was overvalued at some point and undervalued at some point. It does appear the city is finding its level, according to the president. We will look at that briefly and also delve into the matter of Galamsey. The president answered a few questions on the issue of the Galamsey menace. Many people have not been impressed with his answer. People think that his position now differs significantly from when he was in opposition. Others also think that it is the way to go because President has put in place a number of activities and measures to deal with the canker. We will see what our panelists think and what you also think as well, because the show is live and interactive. You can join it via 020-444-7033 and 0549-986-996. Also, we'll look at the utility companies. They want some huge increments in their tariffs. Ghana Water Company wants about 280%. ECG wants some 225%. These are huge. Indeed, the president said at the encounter that the fact that they've asked for it doesn't mean they'll be given. And indeed, that appears to be the history. They asked for the moon, and then they are giving something. And one of my guests here is dealt with them for a long time, and we'll be happy she will bring some perspectives to the discussion. So let me provide you some quick updates. Then I will introduce my guest, then we get the discussion started. Now, President John Mahama has stated that his administration is not in a rush to declare a state of emergency in the fight against illegal mining, popularly known as Galamsey, insisting that the existing laws provide sufficient authority to tackle the menace. He spoke at the encounter with the media on Wednesday, where he also acknowledged the growing public pressure to take drastic measures against illegal mining activities, but cautioned against resorting to a state of emergency prematurely.
I've been reluctant to implement a state of emergency in the Galamsey fight because we've not exhausted the powers we even have without a state of emergency. We have the opportunity to arrest anybody, to confiscate any such thing. There are laws for forest protection and all that give us enough powers to be able to act. Implementing a state of emergency might sound nice, but it should be the last extreme, the last resort. So for now, let's exercise all the powers we have. And if it becomes necessary for a state of emergency, then we'll look at it. It means we have to go to Parliament. The president can't just declare a state of emergency without, going to Parliament, because there's a limit to how long you can maintain that state of emergency. And so I believe that we still have leverage to continue to fight Galamsey without necessarily implementing a state of emergency. It means that we have to delineate the areas where the state of emergency is operational. And if you look at the area where Galamsey is taking place, it covers several districts of our country. And so we would do it if it becomes necessary. But for now, I think that we've given the security services enough powers to be able to deal with people who are found to be involved in Galamsey, an event. There's no magic wand. The decay has eaten so much over the last 8 years that it's going to take a lot of work to be able to overcome it. And I didn't expect that in 18 months we would declare victory in the fight. As the livelihoods of about 4 million Ghanaians is on small-scale mining. And so it's going to be a process. It's not going to be an event. But we will not give up. We have a determination to get on top of it. The Gold Board was introduced as part of reforms. And if the Gold Board was not introduced, those who were taking the profits from the small-scale mining sector were the foreign traders who were taking that money away. In 6 months, we have exported over $6 billion. About $4 billion of that money was going to go into the private or foreign traders. And so the first thing is you shut the stable door so that the horse doesn't escape, which is what we've done. So if it's from illegal sources, it's from legal sources. At least it's our land that is being destroyed. So let us get the benefit of it instead of foreign traders. So that's the first thing. But if you go and read the Gold Board law, it has a requirement for tracking and tracing. And as I speak, the Gold Board is working with an organization to put on a track and trace system. And so they're going to see those who have legitimate license requirements so that they can assist them in responsible mining so that we can buy that gold off them. Once we do tracking and tracing, it's in our interest because then we can export under LBMA and we'll get more profit from exporting under LBMA. So the Gold Board is not just about buying gold, it's also about financing responsible small-scale mining.
So the president has also been explaining reasons for disbanding the IGP's anti-Galamsey task force.
We called off the IGP's anti-Galamsey task force because they are supposed to coordinate with NIMOS, that is the National Anti-Illegal Mining Operations Secretariat. Unfortunately, they were not doing that. So every little commander in any this thing gets up, Galamsey phobia, they can't tell who is licensed, they can't tell who is not licensed. And so it was just like an attack on the whole small-scale mining industry. And so what we said was they should freeze their action. They should synchronize it with the National Anti-Galamsey Operational Secretariat so that they can be directed exactly to where to go in terms of the anti-Galamsey fight. While we're fighting Galamsey, it doesn't mean that it's a free-for-all for everybody to get up. Anybody gets up, puts on a helmet, puts on a jacket, and says, I'm anti-Galamsey. They say, we're not looking for chaos. We're looking to do it, in a scientific manner so that we do not hurt the whole of the small-scale mining industry.
All right, so that's for Galamsey mining, etc. He also spoke about the economy. He says that the country is not in a hurry to return to the capital market. Let's hear him.
We're quite happy with the outcomes of the reforms that we have been implementing in the economy. And we have survived without going to the capital markets. We've survived without borrowing. Who could have thought some years ago that Ghana's economy could be run without going to the external market to borrow? And yet, we've survived. And so we shouldn't be in a hurry to go back to the capital market. All we've done is to reorder our expenditure and push funds to areas that are of priority. And so that's all we've done. Fiscal discipline, not spending money on wasteful, political interventions and all that. And that is already showing the successes in the market. I mean, we've gone from negative 3.4% on the primary balance to positive 1.1 as at now. And by the end of the year, we'll achieve the target. I'm sure we'll overachieve the target of positive 1.5. And so it's all about discipline in expenditure. And so for me, as the president, I would not favor a quick return to the international capital market. I think we should go like this for a while and consolidate the economy before we look at external financing.
All right, the president also had cause to talk about the cedi performance. The cedi had become a major talking point. I mean, in the entire 8 years of the Nana Addo Bawumia presidency, even before in 2014, 2016, and right from 2017 to 2024. And it continues to be a major factor. I remember the famous saying that if the exchange rate, the economy is weak, the exchange rate will expose you. And that if you are in doubt, look at the exchange rate. Those matters put the issue of the exchange rate or the cedi in the center of political discourse. And so it was important that the president would speak about that. Indeed, the cedi began doing very well, or was doing very well at some point, the best performing currency in the world, at some point the West. Now we are somewhere in the middle. But the argument is that the cedi is actually correcting itself because it's been undervalued for a long time and overvalued at some time too. So we are actually finding the proper level for the cedi. This is what he said.
We recognize a very steep appreciation in the value of the cedi in response to the reforms that we were carrying out. And for those of you who listened to me, there was one occasion where I said, people were asking whether it will go below 10. And I said, it is dropping, but it will find its true value. It was undervalued at 16, and it probably is overvalued at 10. But somewhere between there, we have the real value of the cedi. And so I believe that it is about stopping rapid depreciation of the currency. Almost every currency would realize either depreciation or appreciation in the course of a year. But when you have steep depreciation of about, like we had in 2024, 25% depreciation in the currency in the first half of the year, it makes planning difficult. And so, yes, Bank of Ghana has been intervening in the forex market, but they've withdrawn. And what happened was that because of the rapid appreciation in the value of the cedi, we saw an exponential increase in imports, because then people could buy cheaper dollars, and so they could import more, which is a natural economic phenomenon. But on the other side, exporters are not happy because they get less cedis for what they export. And so every country tries to find out a balance where exporters are able to do good business and importers are not overburdened by high forex rates. Where that lies, I don't know. I'm not a central bank. But the cedi is making an adjustment, and I believe that it will settle at a certain rate, and we will make sure that any depreciation that occurs in the value of the cedi is within a margin of about 5% per annum. That is what we target.
All right, so these are excerpts from the president's encounter, basically touching on all issues. When you have a number of journalists in the room, they will ask all the questions. And so that's what happened. The president took questions from the media and answered them. It had no formula, so there were questions from everywhere, and the president tried to answer them. My guest this morning, Richard Ahiagba, who is Director of Communications of the MPP, Nanaya Jantwa, first time on this show, but no stranger to politics. She was a socialist, now social democrat, long history of Nkrumahism, and she's been with the PURC, reason why she's here mainly, and also now a presidential staffer. You can see her in her work with Julius Cap. We'll deal with that a bit later. Nana, you're welcome to the program.
Thank you. You always leave, everybody leaves my middle name. Why?
Nanaya
Achimpim.
Oh, Achimpim. Nanaya Achimpim
Jantwa.
Achimpim Jantwa.
My middle name identifies me.
I see. Nanaya Achimpim Jantwa. Richard, I think what does have a middle name, so that's fine. Dr. Abdul Jalil Ateku is a political scientist with the University of Ghana. And then later in the show, we'll be joined by Darrell Bosu, who is a Deputy National Director of Arocha Ghana. And of course, Franklin Kujo, President of Imani Africa, as always, is with us. Gentlemen and lady, welcome to the program. I start off with you, Nanaya Achimpim Jantwa. So first time the president is meeting the press in his second term. Your general thoughts on the encounter, the questions, the president's responses, etc. Did he appear like he was on top of his game? I know you say yes, but just for the records, did he appear that he was on top of his game, etc.? Just briefly.
You see, thank you very much. Your name, you said you are Adonoo. Selorm. Okay, so this is my first time of meeting you.
Pleasure.
Selorm, nice meeting you. Let me say good morning to my brothers. Richard, I'm greeting you. Look at my face. Good morning.
Richard, you're in for trouble today.
And good morning to our cherished viewers and those on Facebook and all social media platforms. That encounter was great, and today, after, like, upon hindsight, looking at your video has reinforced what I was thinking. This was a very genuine person speaking, not covering anything up. Do you get me? I felt it whilst I was sitting there that day, but today, it has reinforced it. And he didn't say anything different from what he's been saying variously at various meetings we've been having at the Flagstaff House. I remember Fage came to see him, and we were all there.
Fage, the Federation of Association of
Ghanaian Exporters. And they complained about the rapid appreciation of the cedi. And at that encounter, he said that the cedi will settle around 11 point something, 12. And they really wanted, and he said that the market will intervene, but he hasn't got a hand to intervene. But in his own view, it will end around 12, and that will be stable. And we are looking at a depreciation, he said everything, depreciation of 5%. So generally, over the period, I mean, you could see that this is a very genuine person who hasn't got a double tongue. Number two, he also talked about the gold board at also another encounter. And he told us how we've been able to export $6 billion of gold. Hitherto, this $6 billion worth of gold was illegal export. That it was not even recorded in any of our books in this country. That somebody went to Dubai and noticed that most of the gold that was being used on that market was coming from Ghana. But looking into the books, that quantum of gold was not recorded. So this amount that was going into private hands, nobody is saying that you don't want private people to be rich, but you should not be rich at the expense of the nation and the people of Ghana. So this amount of gold now is going through the right channel, and the money is coming to us. At another encounter, the issue of going back to the capital markets came up. And he said, as it stands now, he does not think that we have to. And he said the same thing there. So I see some synchronization and some consistency, I like that word, in whatever he says. I saw a very truthful person. I saw somebody who wasn't forcing himself to lie, but say it as it is, no matter what. And that is a very good mark of a leader. For me, there's one thing he said I didn't like, but that is on the side, that is me.
What was that?
You know, I grew up working in GIPC. I said it variously. It's not as if I'm trying to defy my president, but that's my boss, you see. But I worked in GIPC. That's where I started my work life. And that's the 1 million threshold for investors, the foreign investors, to come in as an equity for you to do business.
I think the explanation is that it's not about retail.
No, I'm talking about, you see, normally when my experience as somebody who worked in investment promotion, I worked in GIPC 10 years, free zones 4 years. So of my 28 years in the public service, 14 was in investment promotion. So normally what happens is that some of these companies will come and say they are doing manufacturing. They manufacture maybe water, example. Then they import goods to add to it. That's when you lower the threshold. Before, I think it was 50,000. But when you bring up the threshold to that level, then you know that the people are a bit serious. Do you get me? Because some people will come and say, oh, we are coming to do manufacture. You go on monitoring and you find out that
they're actually importing.
They are importing. But for us to also get our economy going, as the president said, it has been noticed that because of the appreciation of the cedi, people are importing more. And when people import more, it does not help local industry to grow.
Very well.
And there's a need for us to also grow.
So for
our
you,
local
the president was spot on. How about the journalists? Were the questions good? Were the questions expected?
Oh, yes, they did well.
Okay.
Yeah. Me, I was very happy with the questions. I thought they would rather maybe try to massage the questions, but they were spot on. The one on Galamsey, they asked, what is Omaru asked his question very well, Bernard, and these questions were very spot on. And I didn't think that any of the questions were massaged. Somebody might want to do politics with it, because after that one, you know that some people will come and say that the questions were massaged and he didn't do well. It is expected. What else do you want them to see?
I see. Doc,
Richard, are you okay?
how are you? Welcome to the program.
Thank you
What
very
was your
much.
general thoughts on the encounter? Was the president forthright? Was he clear on the position on the issues? Were the questions good? Were the questions as expected? Did the people sing, or they went straight to the point?
Right, thank you very much. Good morning to your viewers. Yeah. So I think overall, I mean, it's a good thing having such encounters, and I hope that we'll be having many of them by the president himself, right? And I think that, yes, he was clear on a number of issues he raised. I agree with him on a number of them. There are some few ones that I think that maybe we have to have maybe a second view about them. And then talking about the questions, I think that they asked the relevant questions. It wasn't to praise sing. So in my view, looking at it, I mean, in total, I think that it was a good encounter. People had opportunity to ask questions, and I think that was a good thing, broadly. Yeah.
Prior to that, people thought the issue of Chief Justice, former Chief Justice was going to dominate, or was going to come up a bit more. But it really didn't come up. It just came up in passing. But it didn't really come up as a main matter. Were you surprised of that? Or
Well, maybe I'm not too surprised, because it's like we've had a very long period of discussion.
Yeah, but this is the first time the president was meeting the media, and people thought those should have...
Well, I do not, because once we have had that for about 3 or 4 months or so, and all that, right? The discussions every year, morning, evening, and all that. And finally, I mean, she's no longer the Chief Justice, right? So I think that, in my view, if it didn't feature prominently, I wasn't expecting anything, because we have moved on. Yeah.
But it had relation to general governance issues. There are people who thought that removing the Chief Justice was a big deal, and it didn't have to happen. People also think that now, with this happening, the tenure of the Chief Justice will be coterminous with that of the executive. A particular government comes, appoints a Chief Justice, and will have to live with the Chief Justice, not literally, but processes will be triggered to remove that Chief Justice. And that raises a huge governance issue beyond the removal of this particular system.
Yeah, but I don't think that maybe the president should be explaining, I mean, this issue again, right? We've had a lot on that, okay? But as whether people are saying that, it means that from this time, we'll be having Chief Justice based on whichever political party that is in power. Maybe when they are leaving, it means that a new one come, and then they will have to maybe appoint another. I do not see it from that perspective. What we should be looking at is that there are two key things that, I mean, if you look at it from the removal processes and all that, we're interested in the independence of the judiciary. And we cannot discuss the independence of the judiciary without also looking at it from judicial, accountability. They move hand in hand, and they all border on governance, right? So long as the processes were followed to the letter, right? And in my view, I've also heard from some perspective that some people had problems with they said that there was no fair trial. I completely disagree, because the processes were there. I mean, she had the opportunity to go to all the courts, Supreme Court, High Court, and all that. So I don't know which other processes that we can look at and say that they were not fair. Maybe people can raise issues that maybe in their view there were not sufficient ground to remove her. I mean, but that is it. But moving forward, right, like I indicated, it's about judicial independence and judicial accountability. So if you come in as as a justice of the Supreme Court or any other public officer, whether the High Court or even outside that, the EC and all that, the rules are there. You only ensure, because, and especially for the Supreme Court, you have that mandate. You are a judge, and it is expected that you do A, B, and C. You are there correcting other people, and therefore the position you occupy is also a high position, and it's expected that you discharge your duty fairly, having regard to the rules, regulations, the Constitution, and whatever we have, right? So it doesn't matter who you are. The president, there are processes to impeach the president, isn't it? What about the speaker? Why not the judiciary? So it's important that public office holders must have it, that once you are put there, you must operate within the ambience or within the limit of the rules that you have, the rules of engagement. So if you go contrary to that and you are removed, then we should not say that because of this has happened, so in future another person, if in future another person comes, the person also goes contrary to the rules, the processes must be activated.
Very well.
That's my position on this. Yeah.
Very well. Richard, welcome to the program. Your general thoughts. President meets the media, not the first time it's happening. It started in the Kufuor era, but not the media. Kufuor was meeting the public, the People's Assembly.
Which include the media, anyway, yes, because the media report. Yes. That was more expansive.
Yes, and then Professor Mills reduced it to the media, qua media. And then Mahama continued.
Akufo-Addo did, yeah.
No, Mahama
okay, one. Okay.
Mahama continued. Yeah. Akufo-Addo came to continue, and Mahama is come back again.
Good.
So it appears that it's come to stay, really. Your general thoughts on the responses and the questions before we delve into the issues proper.
Selorm, good morning. I haven't seen you in a while. And
I'm wondering why you're in black this morning. It's just a dressing.
Yeah. I'm not happy. Ghanaians are not happy.
That's why I'm black.
Yes.
That was a fashion statement.
I don't know. But I like black generally. Okay. For me, it doesn't necessarily signal mourning in isolation. It's something that I like. But I wore it today really because I'm not happy. There's some unfortunate happenings in our country, and it's hard to do with the governance of the country. The idea that His Excellency John Dramani Mahama will acquiesce to the abuse, that we are seeing in our country, the emasculation of our constitutional rights as a people, and the use of state power to show people where power lies. The IGP, you're a lawyer, I think we'll get to that matter. I think that we need to get serious. This state is our country. We have selected one of us, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, to manage our affairs on our behalf. He didn't possess this country for himself. It's for us. We are the people. And he is to exercise the Constitution on our behalf. He's seeing it being abused. The rights of citizens are being abused.
How?
Selective justice is happening in our country, and it's getting to a point where we must speak very, very clearly about it.
How exactly?
And not means
whose
we'll get into that.
Is being abused?
Well, you can see it all over the place. It's replete. Selectivity of justice in the manner we are seeing it. It's injustice.
Because I don't think your right has been abused. I don't think Doc's right has been abused. I don't think Nanaya Chimpim's.
Yes. So you want me to name people whose rights are being abused? Yes. I'll get into that because that is our second. That's our second issue, our third or so issue. But I'm just saying that if for purposes of answering your question, just to put some context to it, and we'll get back to it, is one of the issues that you have. What is happening to Abronye, is a classic show of power.
From who?
That weaponizing state security or the power to arrest, weaponizing that to show a citizen where power lies. I think that is contrary to the Constitution and all the laws in our country, and we need to tell the president clearly that this state does not belong to him.
But is it...
now, let me get to my general comment.
We'll get to that later so that we deal with it. Yeah.
The truth, I will tell you, which is contrary to what Nanaya said. And my brother, maybe by proximity, got infected by Nanaya's assessment that it was good. It wasn't. It was a disaster.
Good.
It was a disaster. The engagement. It was a disaster.
Why was it
the concept?
In the response.
Absolutely. The concept of engaging citizens is a noble one. Is one that is necessarily required of people who are managing the affairs of the state, so they can account to us. So in principle, the encounter is one that we need to encourage more of. I don't know, maybe Nana can tell us down the line how many times or how often President Mahama plans to do it. So in principle, engaging citizens through that means is good. My cardinal sin they committed is one that they were selective in the invitation. So certain key media houses were not invited.
Like which one?
Well,
SRC was not invited. For example, we complained about it. They say it will be strictly by accreditation. I'm not expecting every media house to come, but I'm expecting key media houses to be there. So, even if, hold on, Woon to me was not there. Even if, I'll keep telling, because but
I mean,
the next time he asks again, I'll tell another media house that was not there. You understand?
Another. We are waiting for another. You said to another.
Republic Radio was not there.
Which is Republic?
Which one is that?
I don't know.
No, which one is that?
You don't know.
I don't
know. It's in the Eastern region. You don't know.
Oh, okay. But you see, there are over 400 or 300.
I agree, but I'm just saying that.
I'm
just saying that you should have a representation that befits the occasion, right? If President Kufuor can have a People's Assembly, and you're not going to do President Kufuor's People's Assembly, only the media. Right? If we have, I'm just coming. Let's not engage.
That's the way you open up things, right?
Yes.
In your time, there was this criticism that Radio Good and
yes,
no, I'm not saying
so. XYZ was so. And the argument was that you can't invite everybody.
No problem. I really don't want us to go.
No, Selorm, you want to engage the conversation. So the point is that. You are trying to justify. It's unfortunate that you are the one raising the question. I would be happy if Nana was the one.
The host.
Yeah. No. I'm talking about raising questions that Radio Go was not invited.
I said it.
But when I'm talking to you, it's like you don't have the responsibility to make that decision.
No,
but the point is that, okay, Nana, do you agree with him? So I make the point. You agree with him?
No, she doesn't have to agree with him. So you make the point.
So the point is that, the point is that when Radio Gold was not invited to come to that program, what did she think about it? Did she think it was okay?
I don't know.
That's why I wanted her to own up. So that I'll ask that if you thought that
and you justified it.
So okay, then now you have owned up. So if you condemn and justify that to be a wrong thing done, why are you not raising alarms about that? Why are you not in this moment agreeing with me that it was wrong for this not to be invited? Because the last time when it was done,
you've raised it. You've raised it the first time I'm hearing. Number two,
but you know they were not there.
Yeah, so I don't.
Okay, so just now you know.
Yeah,
so agree with me.
Yeah, so I'm saying that. I also agree that we can't invite every media house. So
but at least you should remember to invite us.
No, but
because if you don't invite us, but why Radio Gold?
No,
why Radio Gold?
Because Radio Gold is one of the longest, it's one of the oldest radio stations in Ghana.
It's not about old.
No, I mean
it's about what they do. It's about the news. It's not about
in terms of influence. But so we're saying that if it was wrong then, it should be wrong today.
Very well.
So I expect you to have condemned it even in the past, but you didn't. And now you are seeking to justify it.
I am not. Yeah, no problem. What I'm trying to tell you is that assume that I was ignorant then.
Now you are wiser.
Now you are wise.
So in hindsight.
In hindsight, because based on your criticism.
No, in hindsight.
Yeah. In
hindsight, it was wrong not to have invited them.
Yes, I'm saying to you.
Say it well.
No, I'm not. But if you should know, in principle, my criticism now is premised on the fact that what may have happened yesterday that you criticized, it's not something we should repeat. So we should move on.
Yeah,
but it is being repeated by people who criticize it, and you are acquiescing to it.
No, I'm just saying it for the first time. I'm saying that they should have been invited.
Just agree so I can make progress. Yeah, that is wrong.
There should be a clear, there should be a proper representation of the general views of the Ghanaian public there.
Very good. That's a better English. So in this case, In this encounter,
So
there
the
was
first
no
English
proper
wasn't better.
representation. No problem. This one.
Because of the absence of
Absence of
Wontumi
assassin,
and
Wontumi and some.
I
They are
know
operating. Yes,
they
yes.
sorted out their matters.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. You understand?
The president helped you to sort out your matters.
No problem. You see, he didn't help us. It's the law. It's the law. So, on that part, it's a disaster.
No, but you see, there's a morality of it, the moral authority to raise the issue. Because when you had the opportunity, you didn't do it and you defended it at the time. And now, maybe they took a leaf from your book and are doing it as you did. And you, the same person who justified it then, are coming to raise issues. It raises some morality, issues of moral authority, etc. Or if you don't agree, you can move on.
He even did the press conference, I remember.
No, you see, here's the point I am saying. So we're building a society, okay? And where I sit today, there are things that perhaps I defended, okay, whilst we're in government, that Ghanaians did not agree with, okay, for which reason they voted against us. So, in hindsight, I'm processing all of these things that maybe is because of A, B, and C. So everything that was done, that the NDC criticized, that you criticized, which is the reason perhaps we're in opposition today, I need to look at it again and say, was that necessarily okay? And so when I see them doing it, I'm saying that we did this thing and they criticized it. Perhaps it's a reason why we lost, right? So that should not be repeated. If they are minded, I can serve as a mirror for them, so they can begin to process that. Well, maybe we shouldn't do it that way. So it is for me an information I'm giving them, and it's also for the benefit of building our democracy. That we need to afford people the opportunity, okay, to get into that accountability space and hold the government. Because I'm telling you that if you had opened up the process, there was a certain key question. You were right. What are you talking about today in our country that is more consequential, apart from Galamsey, okay, today? And that's more consequential than the political removal of the Chief Justice.
I'm not sure
there is nothing.
I'm not sure about
Allow
the
me to use that because that's what.
No, because the facts don't support it. The law.
I don't see what fact you are talking about.
The law 146 is clear. The law. That's what the Constitution is here.
You are censoring my speech.
No, I'm saying that, but the right things people are learning. The right things. If you say the removal, I'll take it. The Constitution is here.
So you see, don't think about your viewers and listeners as a monolithic group. There's a heterogeneous group out there who are listening to you, who understand the issue.
They learn from us, and we also have a duty to put out the issues as they are.
There is nothing wrong about what I am saying. I believe that. If you want evidence, I'll give you evidence. But the point I'm making, you cannot tell me what to say.
No,
because you are seeing it from a different perspective. I'm seeing from a different perspective. Okay, you are seeing it strictly as a matter of law. The application of 146. Okay, I'm coming from a political angle that tells you that there's a political motive that led to the institution of that process.
Very well.
You understand? So I am looking at it from that standpoint. You can see it purely law. 146 is a tool. But before you get to its activation, there's a motive that drives that. And that motive is political.
So
allow me to proceed.
Yes, I'll allow you. Will somebody also be right in making the same arguments in the case of Charlotte Osei? That it was a tool, but before you arrive there, there's a political motive. Would you agree to that as well?
We're not talking about Charlotte Osei.
No, I'm saying that it's the same tool.
When you make that point, I'll move on and make my point.
So, yes,
that the removal of the Chief Justice is political. Otherwise, the reasons assigned for her removal are flimsy, completely needless. Your own association, the Ghana Bar Association, the Commonwealth Lawyers Association disagrees with that. You understand? So, if there is a legal position, if there is a legal position to support that, their disagreement tells you that not everybody agrees with that. And I'm telling you the reason why not everybody will agree with it, because it's not manifest why the Chief Justice should be removed. Okay, the reasons are not crystal clear for everybody. That this one, she must go. It tells you that there's a political motivation that is driving.
So for you, the absence of any clear question on the CJ's removal, put a dent in the whole event.
It makes it political.
It makes her political.
It makes her removal political.
No, I mean, what I mean is at the encounter, the absence of a clear the media encounter the president had with the journalists. That's a contest.
Oh yes, I'm just saying
that because that question was out.
To that question
to
be ousted, I mean, and that's what you asked.
Yeah, so but does it also not mean
let me make the point. Really. The interruption is not very helpful. You just allow them to speak.
No, I'm saying that because you bring in a lot of things.
Yes, of course, because I have to say, but it doesn't mean you should be
which require guidance.
No, it doesn't.
They require guidance.
I have responsibility for what I'm saying. I'm clear what I'm saying.
Except that. No.
I
don't have a responsibility.
You have a responsibility.
So you go ahead.
But I'm saying that
I always allow you more time.
No. But by more time with interruption, that's why.
We are lying. Look, Selorm, we are allowing him too much time.
Because why she just praise sang? What is there to question about praising?
So that's why I'm questioning you. So go ahead.
You just praise sang. That's all. So, but the point I am making is that.
Allow him.
What I'm saying is.
I'm protecting you.
No, I don't need protection. Just allow the space. Let's have a conversation. But I really will appreciate. Just allow me, because I'm not saying anything that is out of left field. I'm minded. I'm responsible with my speech. So just allow me. The point I am trying to make is that question not being there was unfortunate, because that is one top of the mind issue for Ghanaians. Bernard did a good job asking his question. I think one of his questions stood out for me, right? But then it was not pointed to ask about that. The president took occasion to do PR small, that, I am a Democrat through and through, I'm not a supreme leader. But I'm saying that, President Mahama, we don't need to hear you say you are a Democrat. We want to see you to be a Democrat. And that ties in my view. In my view, if you come and collapse, okay, that is the effect of
collapse
what?
I'm coming. But you should wait with us.
Collapse.
I beg you. Just chill. You understand? You should wait. I'm speaking something. Let me say it, right? When you come as a president, okay, and you take a decision to remove a chief justice, which technically collapses the third arm or an arm of government, co-equal arm of government, remove chief justice, okay, now going to appoint your own chief justice, who sitting on the sidelines, whoever it is, I have a fair idea who is going to be, right? Who is sitting on the fence now, seeing the effort involved in removing another for me to come. When it comes, he owes you. You understand? Now, what you have in Ghana after the president's successful removal of Chief Justice is a legislature that is dominated by the ruling party, the government of the day.
Which is a verdict of the people.
You can say that English, but I'm not. That's what I'm telling you.
That's the reality.
I don't know. I don't know what you're saying, but I'm just saying that number two, you have the judiciary effectively now in a position to be compromised.
Really?
Yes, because
even with 13 appointments.
You see, the truth of the matter is that we are human beings. First of all, we have relationships, right? That comes into the governance space. If you are appointed tomorrow the Chief Justice, you owe that office to the president.
Really?
Yes. The president's decision to undermine and remove the Chief Justice, okay, has evaded the sanctity and the independence of the judiciary, which is a co-equal arm of government, which needn't be undermined the way the president did it. So now you have effectively a supreme leader, okay, who will not accept it, however, but the setup is that President Mahama has become a supreme leader. Why? Because the parliament is essentially his, and the judiciary will effectively become his. When that happens, he is a supreme leader. He can disagree, but that's what it is. And so therefore, to have a press encounter where you don't open it up, where that question doesn't come up, for me,
you should blame the journalists. And we had
tempted.
We had some of the best journalists in the country.
Absolutely. Well,
and if that question didn't come up, you don't blame the president, do you?
Well, but for some very good people at that encounter that I respect, the independence of thoughts of them, and I apologize to them, but my verdict and view of that encounter is that it was staged by and large. The questions that were asked, I feel that did a disservice to the opportunity given. Okay, but for Bernard's question and one other question that I thought, I think that that whole encounter was a disaster.
Great.
And I will get into the matter specifically.
Very well. Let me speak to Frank. Franklin, you're welcome to the program. Your quick thoughts on the encounter, where the critical questions asked for you, did the president provide satisfactory answers?
Well, good morning to your good self. Good morning to my
you want to
friends.
unmute, Franklin. Kindly unmute.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
I'm not on mute.
Okay.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can.
All right. Good morning, my good friend Richard. Good morning, Nanaya. Good morning, the professor. Good morning, everybody. I think I actually was busy the day the president spoke. I was on a business call for almost 2 hours. But then later, I had to watch it. And, my immediate impressions were clearly that this president was actually quite humane. He was truthful, he was wise, he was knowledgeable, was practical, and very probably accountable. I mean, I think one of the things we are witnessing in this era is essentially the fact that you have leaders who are willing to come forward. And I think John has always been like that, by the way. But there's something characteristically brilliant about that session that we had. And I think the journalists were wonderful. I think that by and large, all the questions that mattered were asked. I do not see any question that did not matter, that wasn't asked. Galamsey, the economy, the internecine squabbles that we've been witnessing in certain parts of the country. And indeed, the questions about livelihoods, empowerment, the economy. And I think for me, those things put food on the table. I can understand Richard's angst about the Chief Justice. And I'm actually angry that the Chief Justice actually was taken out because she misbehaved. You get my point. I think that's where my anger really also is. I mean, if she knew that you don't go putting your hand in the cookie jar and then say that, well, you didn't know because others also enjoy it. Look, the other day I told you that procurement, in fact, indeed, the whole idea of procurement has been one of the major bans of this country. So if any leader is caught, even if it is one city, the person must face the consequences. And I think people take these things too lightly. You know what procurement has cost us in this town? Yesterday, I had a whole business meeting with the corporate accountant general. And some of the conversations we're having was just, I mean, it was interesting, but also heart-rending and quite really worrying. So please, I do not.
I think we lost Franklin. We'll get him back. He was talking about procurement and other things, relating it to, I'm sure, the CJ and other things. So this is the big issue on 97.3 City FM. We're also live on Channel 1 television, on YouTube as well. Let me take a few of your messages that have come through. This one from Jones Adoboi says, good morning, Selorm. Whatever the president does or says, there may be varied opinions, but I'm particularly happy that he's been able to subject himself to such media scrutiny, which I think needs commendation. With the issues about Galamsey, the president couldn't have put it any better by trying to contextualize the questions based on the current dispensation. That's from Jones Adoboi in La. This one from Prince Henry in Koforidua says, good morning, Selorm. A government that has cut down expenditure, a government that has reduced the number of ministerial appointments to save costs for this country should be praised and supported to deliver. The current state of the cedi to dollar is far better than what we experienced under the dollar arrest that Dr. Bawumia and the MPP in the past. So Ghana is undergoing resetting, and we need to support President John Mahama and NDC to deliver. So I understand Franklin is back. Let's go back to Franklin. Franklin, sorry we lost you, but you were making a point about procurement to connect to some other things. Yes. Yes, Franklin. Sorry you went off, but you are back now. Yes. Hello, Franklin. Hello, Franklin. Well, it's on, but kindly unmute if you are on mute, and let's hear you. Franklin, are you there? All right. So whilst we wait for Franklin to come, there were general issues about the economy. I wanted Franklin to answer his question and then deal with that. So yeah, so you have a quick one. Franklin will come into.
I want to briefly talk about this Chief Justice thing.
So just quickly, because that's not the, what the
Yes, but we need to. You see, we have to go to the conditions of service of the judiciary. The conditions of service of Supreme Court judges, of which she was one.
That she was Chief Justice. So I'm sure that the conditions of service of the Chief Justice will be slightly different from that.
That is what I'm saying.
Okay.
But the reason why we're talking about the fact that in the public service you need to be careful about how you vary rules and regulations and procurement. It is very clear that if you are traveling with your spouse on an official trip, which is allowed within the framework of their conditions of service, your spouse will be paid 50% of the per diem given to you. But if you are traveling on a private visit, you go with your security and it is silent on the per diem or whoever accompanies you.
So you hang it there. Let me deal with, let Franklin finish his point for me. Hello, Franklin. Welcome back. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
All right.
Yes,
Apologies.
I'm sorry.
Yes. So you're dealing with some procurement matters. So yes.
Yes, I think I needed to make the point that I think we take things too lightly in this town until something really big happens, and then we all start saying, "Oh, but this is small. This is a little infraction. Let's go. Let's not do what we are doing." Look, if somebody had committed some crime regarding procurement abuse, and the Chief Justice was on the panel, she would convict the person. What are we talking about? I mean, people steal bread. The other day, a gentleman stole bread worth, I think, 100,000. He's been jailed for 5 years, right? Bread, common bread. Now, if you are supposed to be the beholder, should I say, is a word correct? Basically, the doyen of constitutionalism, all this bigism, and then you know that if you do make certain decisions regarding financial impropriety, you've got to be sanctioned. You have to be sanctioned. And I think that's one of the things I think my friends on the other side are becoming too loud and quite frankly annoying on this matter. You guys removed Charlotte, who was not even directly responsible. I remember Charlotte's issue. I recall that it was the deputies who did whatever they did. But even then, because she's the head, she needs to take the fall. I mean, are you telling me that a subordinate comes to see me and says, "Oh, Mr. Kujo, take 10,000 cities and travel," then I sign and take it without asking questions. And then later, when I'm found out, I say, "Oh, I was just there. She brought the money to me and I took it." What are you talking?
But this was in the conditions of service.
Sorry?
Conditions of service.
What service?
Say that again.
What service?
Conditions of service as CJ.
That you decide that you travel with whatever you want to travel. I think the conditions of service were clearly spelled out. I don't think we are dealing with that.
Yes. So let's stay on track with the president's encounter. Yeah.
Right. Anyway, so let's not. In fact, the matter is becoming quite frankly annoying to me because. Please stop it.
Yes.
Let's move forward.
So the president's encounter. So now let's delve into some other things. Right. The president spoke about the economy in very favorable terms. He thinks that the economy is doing well, quite stable. He talked about the exchange rate. Said it's basically correcting. Cedi's been undervalued and overvalued. What we are seeing now is a correction of the exchange rate or the Cedi's role in the exchange rate equation and all of that. First, talk to me about the president's view of the economy. Is the economy the way the president is spoken about it?
Well, if you have come from a place where your heart, your head, your lungs, your legs were racing far beyond your means, then clearly speaking, and to a place where currently all those elements are in sort of not necessarily in abeyance, but somehow are in steady flow, normalized. What do you want to do? You want to talk about it and ask questions. What is happening? Why did we move from some 54% inflation some time ago? I don't really want to remember that era to head cuts and haircuts, ugly haircuts, to all these. Very, very, I don't know. All the fundamentals were just completely out of order, and you are now here where the rate of inflation is slower. What are we talking about? Well, what was the percentage now? I've forgotten. I think we are close to
I think we are
I remember
11.1 or 11.1.
Beautiful, beautiful. So that's the rate of inflation has slowed from 54% in 2022
11.50
to 11% as we speak. Who wouldn't want this? And I think this is exactly what we should be discussing. So I think the president was quite spot on to bring those matters to a head. And indeed, what it meant for those of us listening was that, okay, well, the rate of inflation is low. The things I purchased some time ago are a bit, reasonably well priced. We no longer hear people saying cement manufacturers should reduce prices, because the elements that constituted the price hike, obviously the exchange rate, the inflation, and all of that, affected a lot of things. True, there are some products that are still being priced in the way that we all don't want. But that's the thing with arbitrage. Sometimes some of our compatriots also try to make a kill on certain products. And so the elements of the economy are quite clear. Of course, the CD obviously would have a run because of some of the challenges that obviously the dollar has been facing not long ago. But I think generally, the items for discussion, there's the economy, the exchange rate, the inflation, even lending rates. You know, I was quite happy to be seeing that lending rates, even though they could still come down, are still within comfortable regions. And the other thing also is that government itself is not over borrowing from the productive elements of the economy. I mean, how many times have you heard that the domestic should I call them the TB rates? The government essentially fiscally wants to actually the appetite for borrowing from the domestic sector is actually also quite low. I mean, they don't oversubscribe. There's an oversubscription sometimes, but those times. But now you don't hear government subscribing to the fullest all these TB rates, and I think that is also quite a feather in this administration's cap. Look, the idea of prudent spending, and I think that's something else we should be mindful about. It's recently Imani and International Institute for Sustainable Development, a very renowned think tank in the world. Together, we organized a seminar not long ago on the Fiscal Responsibility Council, the Fiscal Council. Recall not long ago. And if I listen to the state actors, and I watch the numbers, and I see the things that we do when it comes to spending, I do have a feeling that forcing is actually forcing when it comes to this issue about maintaining strict prudency, not going out of the way to launch frivolous programs, give them tag names, and run away. But there's something else it's doing. It's like, I'm not going to spend out of 10. I'm going to be sensible. I found out that there was a tax refund rate that was used to, it's a slash fund that the previous administration was using to pay all these crooked scams. And they found a nice way of saying, look, I will not dip my fingers into that account. In fact, I hope I can confess this. The guy tells you that, he got here and people are telling him, hey, Masa, I did you. So what do you mean? I said, there's a tax refund. I said, really? Okay, I see. Well, I'm not going to dip my hands into it. I'm going to use it sensibly. That's why I used the 2% to plug the loophole that we were expecting, that we thought we couldn't be filled when he gave those tax concessions. You see, so you are dealing with a gentleman, a group of people who have gone through the mill, well refined now, who understand the Ghanaian. That if you come and tell me that, oh, I'll do this, and then you run your mouth, they would mind you. So I think it is important that this fiscal issue is dealt with properly, because the government has decided that, the government, I think that the rules are suggesting that, look, if you cannot spend more than 1.5 percentage, you can have a deficit of 1.5 percentage in a particular year. And I think those strictures are very important, and some of us are very much invested in those items of fiscal prudence, because if that goes out of the window, we are doomed. Don't forget the last administration, and again, sorry, I have to be bringing it up. The central bank governor and the central bank was just had a mind of its own. The fiscal guys were also doing whatever they wanted. Whatever they wanted, the central bank just gave it. That's why you had all those 60 billion wretched debts. I call them wretched debts because they should never have been contracted. The central bank's rule, the moment you yield your independence to a fiscal side, a secretary who is just spending like there's no tomorrow, you are doomed. And so now I see that the governor of the central bank is saying, okay, listen, I probably intervened a bit, but let's hold it there. The finance minister is doing the things to do. Let's encourage them. Let's keep them to the strict and narrow road path. And I believe strongly that we'll get there. There will be excesses, but you see, it's better to start shouting. And Richard, by the way, I doff my hat to you. Move away from this CJ thing, but you are good when it comes to holding this government account to the things that matter, the life, the electricity bill. Never mind that you guys contributed heavily to that, by the way, but you never did anything in the last 8 years to increase our energy resources. You were rather fighting investors, scaring them away and all of that. But you are a good man. Richard, you are a good man. And I think you must elevate the discourse, determine the points that matter for everybody, and move away from these rather high-octane spin, those things. I don't think you had cut for that, my brother. Anyway, look,
yeah, so
I could go on.
Yes, talk to me also about the fact that the president says that Ghana was not in a hurry or not in a hurry to return to the capital markets. Talk to me about that. Is it the right thing to do? There are people who think that we need money to fund key infrastructure projects, etc. So you can't say you won't go if you have the opportunity to go raise money and deal with the problems we have. Why will you say you will not go when you have needs to deal with?
Well, as you realize, the appetite to go to the capital market comes with its consequences as well. At this stage, what do we need? You see, you need something to call the optimal development agenda that we won't have. I've looked at their budget, I've looked at their aspirations, and true, the $10 billion or so infrastructure fund is a heavy ask. If you ask me, it's a really heavy ask. But you see, people, are you not noticing that these guys are cleverly hedging on the gold, right? And as gold continues to do well, they are banking their hopes on the gold, which can be a risky strategy in the long-term market because credit agencies do not look upon us with pity. Nobody pities you in this world. You struggle, you get to the bottom, you get to the top, and you make your case. The credit rating agencies are saying that where you live, the risks are too high. And some of these risks are when the government comes and spends out of them and does all sort of crazy things. So I think the president is being careful, or this government is being careful that, look, if we are getting significant resources from one of our critical resources, maybe milk it a bit more and then create buffers. By the way, this government knows how to create buffers. Remember they did a sinking fund, the first oil, whatever they did, all helped. So create those sinking fund moments and then use that as cover for a rainy day. By the way, as you do, make sure that the projects you are going to spend money on are projects that are well qualified, quantified, and they are needed. You see, constructing roads to everywhere is not a strategy for a prudent man or woman. What you need to be doing, and I think that's what Agboja has been doing. Agboja and I have been talking quite a lot. I think Agboja is saying that, look, I'm not going to just put money anywhere because you say you want a road. Is the road productive? And for the life of me, I do not understand the strategy. Asenso Boachi, please, you're my friend, we were in tech together. Please come back from that high horse. There was nothing sensible about taking an Afro-Exim loan of close to 200 million, and then you deciding that you not use all for a project like the Accra-Kumasi road. I mean, who does that? This is the most productive road, the road that kills a lot of people, but the road you go on and the road is shambolic. You don't then come and do piecemeal development and say, let me put some money here. Look at those roads you send some of the money to. Wetlands Road. All the people have got. So I think the idea of borrowing money to just go ahead and splurge and do things anyhow, it's not what I think is John's rubric. I don't think it's in his literature. It is in his dictionary.
Very well.
I don't think that's what we want to hear. So I think it is important that we hold them to account, because they also don't want to spend just anyhow. So that's where the check-in has to come.
Very well.
And then we'll continue serving that. Thank you.
Great. Nana, yes, so on the economy, I mean, nice things are being said. Inflation is dropping, exchange rate is quite stable, and a few things, happening quite well. But the average person, can you say confidently that the average person is feeling the impact of those so-called positive economic indicators? Because in the end, that is where the rubber meets the road. That is where it matters most, that the people feel the so-called good performance of the economy. Can you confidently say that the people feel it when they go to the market, when they go to the shops to buy things? Are we feeling it?
So you see, can't you notice that the atmosphere is even quiet? The atmosphere is calm. You see, before I come to that, the MPP is very, very entitled, you see.
Let me mention that Richard Kumado is on. We'll get to him soon, and he will help us deal with some other matters. Yeah.
You get me? The MPP feels, I like Richard, as my friend said, frankly. But you see, the MPP feels very entitled. And they think that Ghana is for them.
Really?
Today, I didn't come with politics, but Richard has brought it.
So you stay nationalistic?
No, he has brought it. Because how can he sit here and say that His Excellency Mahama is a supreme leader? What is the meaning of supreme leader?
He said he has the judiciary and the executive.
No, but if he's the supreme leader, the constitution that is there now gives powers to the president. So he has power.
His allegation is that the president is controlling the judiciary.
How is he controlling?
The constitution doesn't give him that power. That's an allegation.
I am saying that how is he? We don't have time. Like you see, after this chief justice, we should go to her conditions of service. When I heard all the noises, I went to her condition because at a point I said that, okay, let me pause and see if really she's right. I went there and she's not right. You get me? If you want to vie your conditions of service, you should write to a superior officer that I want to vie this, and I want this section to be incidental to another section for me to have some privilege. And that is what it is. You see, they feel very, very entitled, and that because the presidency did not invite Asase and Wuntu, did they ever invite Democrats to the Democrats newspaper?
But we spoke against it, and so we changed them.
I am saying that did they do that? And besides, he's saying that questions were given out.
He said it was generally staged. They're not questions.
But that is staged.
There's an aspect of staging, but
no,
not entirely.
But it's staged. It's still staged. Like when you come ask this question. I am telling you that Felix didn't even know who was coming. They just gave accreditation to the media houses. And the media houses brought their own people. Do you get me? A radio station like Radio Gold, not all of them came. But people would have thought that XYZ, I didn't see them. Do you get me?
They were not invited?
Oh, it's possible they were invited.
But they didn't come?
Yes.
But I didn't for sure invite Asase.
No, I'm not sure. Who knows? These people, it is possible they were invited.
They were not invited.
Felix, please. Sorry, I said Felix. Richard, when you were talking today or 4 days, yes, okay. I left you. So the point is that you see, they feel very, very entitled. Selorm, they think that this nation, because
I hear Radio XYZ was there. But the point is that if they did it in the past, and we all condemned it, you don't repeat it.
You know who condemned it?
No, I mean that Radio Gold and
I don't remember condemning it because I knew it would happen.
Oh, so it was fine that...
I didn't care because I knew there was no way...
But elements in your party or government...
But I am saying that I knew that they will not invite New Democrats to their program. They will not invite Radio Gold. They collapsed Radio Gold. How can you invite your enemy to your party? Do you get me? They collapsed Radio Gold.
Very well.
So the point is that they have to start, reorienting their minds towards repentance. Because if they still have this high horse...
But they have repented. The Michael Kwe Bible is which
provides a path to repentance. They are not looking at it. They just take portions that suits them. Who is more of a supreme leader than a leader who can tell our chiefs to stand up because he's coming? Who is more of a supreme leader?
So
talking about the economy.
The economy, yes.
I am saying that the atmosphere is even calm. Me, I do my economics from the market. Because you see, when you go to Makola, Aboblushi, I still go. Yesterday, somebody said I shouldn't go, but I go. I'm going in my Chalewete. And when people see me, they call my name, I'm still there. I will go there, buy food.
Security?
What security? I'm there. One day they asked me, I'm risking my life. I said, I'm there. That is where I came from, and I'm back there.
Very well.
There is a woman I know who is MPP. You know, all the market women, they are my friends. Sometimes I go and I'll sit by their waist and we chat. And she told me, said, Nana, for this day is good though. Prices are down. Foodstuffs, especially rice, sugar. I said, Nana, they are down. Because the city has appreciated. So if these people are importing, certainly it wouldn't be like before.
But
you see, from the very beginning,
and they were saying that they had stock, so they were not going to
now you see, people buy from Christmas, and the stock ends around March. So after March, new stocks will come in. And with that one, that is why we're not seeing those rapid reductions. But now, there's a lot of reductions. Even with our own, we the women, the things that we buy. You know, we buy things. That is not food, though. Sometimes you go to the market, you do some shopping. That is not part of your list. Even that one has reduced. And the economy is doing great. Wow, you see, inflation from 50 something, I think 57 or so.
54. But it ended
54.
around 23 in December.
It is not the ending, it is that, wow, this 54.
But the 54 was in 2022 thereabouts.
And it's still there, it's still history.
Yes, history, but it came down to like 23 in December.
But I'm saying it's still history. And in 9 months, it's not even 9 months, 8 months, it is 11. It's not good. It's only somebody who is, I don't know the word to use, who would not appreciate this, because you see, the MPP people, they don't love Ghana. No matter what you think about His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, the fact that he has done well, if you won't praise him, you don't have to say anything, because you are also enjoying it. You are in Ghana, you are enjoying the low prices. You are enjoying the stable economy. Even if the dollar is 12 cedis today, it's better than 17.
But they didn't leave it at 7. They didn't end with 17.
What
they ended around 15.
15 and 17, what's the difference?
Huge difference.
2 cedis.
Huge difference.
Please, I beg you. You see, it was still high, even when it went to 7. Me, I'm basing my argument on 17.
But 70 was sometime in 2022.
No, 2023. It was 70. You don't know. You go to these people, my only worry are that people are still around. Those they call Abuchi. You get me? For me, we should let them go. But that one is the Bank of Ghana who will decide. You see, 17 cedis and 12. Can you compare? You said 2 is okay. What about 5?
No, I'm not saying 2 is okay. I'm saying
you 15, high.
15 and 17. Just so they ended around 15.
Who?
I mean, the Ronaldo government.
No, because when they noticed that the election was coming on, they did their own things. Do you get me? Me, I don't know. They did their own manipulation. You see,
but so is the NDC government also manipulating?
No, the NDC government
because
is not.
The IMF had occasion to tell the Bank of Ghana to stop intervening
no,
in the market.
They are not.
And so Bank of Ghana stopped. Like Bahama even said it.
You see, no matter.
And so it does appear that the figures are going up.
No matter how you manipulate it, if your figures and your parameters are not good,
the exchange rate will expose you.
It will expose you, no matter how you do it. But if you have some good indicators out there, and you even try to do it, you get some good range of the exchange rate. Do you get me?
I see.
So I am saying that this economy is good. We should be happy that His Excellency Mahama is doing well. You know me, Me, if it is not good, I will say it. That is my flaw.
Very well.
But I am saying that the economy is doing well. The indicators are good. We just have to pray that it keeps so that at the end of the day, the MPP who live in this country will also benefit from the goodness of the land.
I see. Doc, the economy generally, some indicators appear to be doing well. The city was doing very well. IMF said Bank of Ghana was intervening too much. They've stopped. And we've seen the the depreciation of the cedi in the last few weeks. Others have argued that it's because of the seasonal cedi depreciation, people buying for Christmas, etc. That's why it's like that. But generally, what will you say? Is it a performance that is sustainable, or you think that there are too many interventions, leading to what we are seeing?
All right, thank you very much. I think what I would say is that, well, normally if we are going to look at this 8-month period of the NDC administration, I mean, we are looking at from where we came from, right? So if we want to compare, we know the situation in which we were by 2024, right? The economic conditions and so many other things. And I think from that perspective, I can say confidently that things have changed, right? Like she was saying, I do remember, about a month ago, I had interactions with a relative. And then she told me that, she said, Uncle, I used to buy this oil at 1,100.
The big one.
But today it is 680. And she gave me some other things, right? So basically, we can't look at those. These are facts, right? We can't run away from them. So looking at where we came from and then the current situation, I think that things have improved, right? What I'm hoping for is that we should be able to sustain this. If you look at the cedi performance, it's the same thing. If you look at the previous manipulations, right? Sometimes they'll have some money, maybe some IMF money will come in and then it will cushion the cedi. But that one sometimes is sustainable for just maybe about a month or two. But over the period, I think from April thereabout, and then we are in September, right? So, and I think that if you look at the cedi's performance, relatively is also, I mean, better than the previous one, right? And also, I think the president also talked about the expenditure, right? External market, and that they are raising issues they are prioritizing on critical sectors, right? So I think that it is a good thing. So that if you are able to mobilize within, if it gets to a point where you think that there's a need for you to maybe go to the market, right? I mean, absolutely, they will do. So once they have not gone, and then, I mean, we are experiencing some relative stability, I think that, in my view, I think it's a good thing. But one other thing, I think, in my view, is the unemployment issue, right? So I think that is where I think that the government should be looking at, because I mean, you train students every year. Right now, most of them are finishing national service. I've always said that. And then you get the hit when you are in school. You are asked, "Oh yeah, I'm a student of University of Ghana," so everybody knows that you are in school. The next thing is that, "Oh, it's my national service," so that also covers you a bit. But the moment you finish national service, that is where the situation is. You find a number of them at home and so many other things, and then they come with problems, right? So I think that the government needs to look at the unemployment situation, right? And the issue is that, like, it's not like in other parts of the world where even when students are even on campus, I mean, you have some other things, jobs that you can do to sustain yourself, to relieve your parents and all that. But here it's difficult. So I think that it's important that the government needs to do things, right, to create opportunities for, I mean, whether the private sector and other things, so that jobs can be created for the teeming youth. So in terms of the economy, I think that he's raised a number of issues, and I think that I agree with him and on that. So but my concern has to do with the unemployment
if the economy
situation.
Is good, if the economy is good, private sector will do well, will expand, and expansion means more opportunities.
Opportunities, yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
So if the situation is not improving or it stays the same, then it means that the improvement the so-called improvement may not be hitting the ground. Yeah, it's too early.
No, that's what I'm saying. That it's too early, right? I think some economists I have listened to said that if you look at, for example, the cedi's appreciation should be sustained by some productive listen, right? So I'm sure that if they are able to sustain that, okay, for a longer period, I think that it will trickle to affect some of these issues. And that's why I said that it's important that they continue to do the best so that we don't go back to where, I mean, we came from. So if they're able to sustain it, I'm sure that it will have some ripple effect on this employment and other things. Yeah, so I think it's a matter of time. I think the 8 months is too early, but I believe that they should continue to do what they are doing, right, so that things will be better. After all, that is why Ghanaians have voted for them, because if things should change for the bad, it's going to have also a negative impact on the NDC in 2028, and I believe that they are also mindful about that.
Great.
Yeah.
Richard,
just a minute. I just want to.
Okay,
please help me out here. You were talking about borrowing on the capital market. Haven't you been sacked from there because you have overborrowed?
No, but we are doing better now. We have some.
So now we can go there.
Yes.
I just wanted to establish that some time ago we were sacked. We were locked out from. No, I just confirmed.
Yes, I think we have an opportunity because the ratings have improved.
So because we overborrowed at the time and we didn't even use the money prudently.
I see. Richard may have answers to that. All right. So, Richard, I mean, it appears that the general consensus that the economy is doing well. The indicators factually are looking good. The exchange rate is better, inflation better, even the primary balance and all of those things are looking better. Are you impressed in the first place, or will you give Mahama and his team their flowers for doing a better job at economic management, for starters?
This is such a leading question you're asking. Just ask me what's my assessment of the economy. This flowery thing you're saying as if something is happening. What is happening?
Okay, nothing is happening.
I don't see it. If you see it, tell me. I don't see
because from what we've heard from the
they are telling you that they are not spending.
The market, no, they are spending. They're forcing listed a
I'm
number
coming.
of things.
I'm coming. If you're fiscally disciplined, okay, it means that you are being rational, okay. You are rationalizing your expenditure. Now, one thing that we always miss when we're talking about fiscal discipline is that government expenditure drives growth. That's okay. So that when you say you are being fiscally disciplined, what it means is that there are things you are not spending on. Now, you can have a conversation that, I think, and the president used the word wasteful, right? Now, that's relative. So that, are you saying that perhaps free SHS or maybe NAPCO is wasteful? But when Prof was making his analysis, it talks about intervening situations that help people make a living. So that national service is there intervening, so therefore an individual who doesn't have a job in that interim 1 year period has something that preoccupies them. The NAPCO, which you mentioned, let's just use that for analysis. NAPCO was supposed to, the concept was supposed to, one, provide some income, and two, to provide opportunity for skill acquisition, which then becomes a basis for you to go and look for a job. So if, for example, you are in Revenue Ghana, for example, it gives you occasion to understand, revenue issues, and so therefore, if you had any background in accounting or finance or whatever, it becomes experience that you can count on in applying for opportunity, either GRA or any other organization, to say that I have done this, which gives me a basis to apply for this. So it was a stepping stone for people to rise. So if you call that wasteful, I don't know. But it's a matter of your assessment. So if you are being fiscally disciplined, there are things that you're supposed to be doing to help drive growth that you're not doing. You understand? So that's where I come from by saying they are not spending. But the real point there is that there's no production. Okay, all the growth that we're seeing, the balance of it is linked to gold export in terms of how the city is stabilizing, and so the proceeds from there, which now the president has gloriously told us, because before they told that it was Dr. Tuforsen that was forcing very hard for the city to come down, and then at one point they saw it's gold board that is bringing in more revenue, and then ultimately they told us, it is the effective coordination between monetary and fiscal policy that's bringing it about. But then the president let the cat out of the bag, that it was the Bank of Ghana dumping dollars in the market that brought the cedi down. Now, I bring your mind to sometime 2024. The then governor, Ernest Addison, made a similar comment to say that if it were a question of bringing the cedi down, the way the NDC did it, which the president had now told us at his encounter, Selorm, he could have done it in 2024 simply by dumping dollars in the market. So artificially inducing supply, which is not sustainable. And this was his point, that it is not sustainable to do that. But you can do it, but it's not sustainable because it is not going to be backed by the appropriate structures to keep it there. It is a market. So where we are seated, we are all human beings, so you can interact with us. You can ask me a question, I can ask you a question. But if you put a robot in Nana's stead, okay, you can't engage robot in this enterprise that we're engaged in. There's a limitation, right? So it's not sustainable to have a robot's interaction because you want, that engagement. You ask a question, it must produce. But they went and dumped dollars in the market to force the rates down. That is not sustainable. That's why we're here. When they started doing that, we said it, that you can't sustain this. Okay, now what we are seeing is the cedi actually getting to a place where it's standing on its own, competing in the marketplace. And its value, as we are seeing, is depleting. What artificial inducement they have given to the cedi, we're losing it. And technically, if you're looking at it, Selorm, I am inclined to say that was financial waste or financial loss to the state by dumping all of those things to create a certain appearance of performance. We've been asking them, what exactly did you do to bring the cedi down, the rates at which they brought it? It was not policy. If it was policy, then it is just simple policy, let's provide the dollars. But that's not sustainable.
Board was policy, reordering of business. That could happen.
Which is what? But the president told you that it was the intervention of the Bank of Ghana.
But governments have always, or Bank of Ghana has always intervened in markets.
But I just told you, no, it's not the case.
What you have to say is maybe we over-intervened.
But that's what I'm talking about. When you over-intervene, then you have intervened because the reasonable intervention is not questioned, right? That's normal course of business. But when you go out of your way to do it, then you are intervening. And the Bank of Ghana called it out. The IMF called it out. The president was clear. And if you're talking about his honest and whatever, then that's that point he was. Because before that
honesty favors you. So that one.
Oh, I'm not saying that. I'm saying she was the one saying it, and I'm saying that if you're talking about honesty, that was a moment of honesty because before then their government was misrepresenting. They were telling us that Atu was forcing.
Yeah, but
the Bank of Ghana was coordinating.
Is it not a multiplicity of factors?
But the president didn't tell you that. He could have told you. Selorm, please. Selorm, I don't appreciate.
I enjoy it.
No, but this one I don't enjoy it. Just allow me.
And giving all the time to
No, Nana, please.
Let him flow. Yes.
Selorm.
The
president. You said when you were talking, I shouldn't have.
Selorm, go ahead. Yeah.
The president could have told you multiplicity. You think he doesn't know that term? You could have used it. But he was clear to say that Bank of Ghana was intervening. And that's what it is. And so because the Bank of Ghana has stopped intervening, you see what is happening.
So what do you say to what do you say to the seasonality of the exchange rate numbers? So for example, around this time, every time, the cedi depreciates because of people wanting to import things for Christmas, etc. So around this time, historically, the cedi depreciates. How do you factor that in?
But that is not to be accepted necessarily. You're saying that demand spikes around this time.
Yes.
So if you are the economy and you want to meet that expectation, what do? This is not an exam question. This is practical situation affecting people's lives. So if you are managing the economy,
you intervene.
And the intervention, the acceptable intervention is not dumping dollars in the market. That is a desperate last resort effort, right? Which is not advised. Which I told you that in 2024, Governor Addison, under criticism by the NDC, said that if about bringing the dollar cedi-dollar relations down. I can bring it down by dumping dollars. But that is not the way to go. But exactly when they were elected, that was what they were doing. So I'm saying that to anticipate and address that concern is policy. Where is the policy? Where is the production agenda that they brought? They told us we're going to do 24-hour economy. If that was supposed to be the case, then they told us in a manner that gave you an impression that it is something they are prepared, they are ready. The minute you inaugurate President Mahama, it comes on like how you flip on the switch. But we are still now talking about 24-hour economy. We haven't seen it anywhere. It's not in the budget this year, probably
the
next
policy
year.
document has been launched.
How does a policy document that is not implemented affect the economy?
No, but
does it?
So there are a lot of components of
But
that.
I'm saying that the way they presented it to us is as if they got it done already.
So
they actually gave us a model. No,
so the Feed Ghana, for example, is a policy. The Feed Ghana policy is being rolled out. It takes a bit of time
but I'm
for
just saying
produce
that,
to grow, to be harvested, and all the things happen to affect us to the end.
So is that not the case for every government? That there's a gestation period? That every policy you put in place takes time?
Yeah,
but then the NDC gave us an indication.
You got that indication.
No, that's what they said. But let's just use the example of Galamsey for you. Okay? Our current Minister for Communication, Sam George, told us that this Galamsey matter under Akufo-Addo should be solved in 1 week. You understand? They gave time for things to be done, but then it's not clear. That's not how it is done.
We'll come to Galamsey.
So I'll just give you an example of things like that. So there's gestation period. Yes. But then they gave us the impression NDC gave us.
So all of those
even Akukon Kitikiti, is it 1 day? But they gave us but they gave us the impression that they had some ready-made solutions to intervene in the economy and turn things around.
Will have to be rolled out.
But the point is that
Selorm,
they have 24-hour economy has not been rolled out.
24-hour economy has been rolled out.
Rolled out where?
Where? It was launched at the International Conference Center. Busitano, the president, a few other people.
No, I am in Ghana. But let me tell you why it hasn't been rolled out.
A few other people were there.
Hold on.
And so
Selorm,
what we understand is that it is integrated in many of the things other agencies do. So the Ministry of Trade is involved.
But that was not what we were told. So
what were we told?
What we're told is that they are going to do 24-hour economy, which includes a certain operation where one job, 3 people will do it, 3 shifts.
But they are doing it now.
Hold on, please. Okay, that's all we're told. So in the budget, you want to see provisions allocation for 24-hour economy implementation, because they told us that companies that were engaged in that 24-hour economy will be given some regime in terms of electricity consumption, at night. Where is that in the budget?
At time of use, tariffs.
Yeah. Where is it in the budget? It's not in the budget. There is no allocation. There is no allocation for the 24-hour economy, which was an item of campaign in the budget.
The 24-hour. No, let me
so I'm not. I beg you.
Wait, you want to see the 24-hour economy as a line item, but the 24-hour economy has been integrated into every sector. The point I'm making. So in agri, for example, there's a component in the Feed Ghana model, in the incorporated model.
Listen.
So it's integrated into many things.
No problem.
So you may not see a line item 24-hour economy, 20 billion allocated, no. But you see, for example, Feed Ghana, maybe 1.5 billion allocated to it. All of those form.
No, you are rationalizing.
Because I've seen the document.
Please hold on. There is a campaign promise that we know. Akufo-Addo said he will do free SHS. You can see it as an item. You say when you come, you do 24-hour economy.
Okay.
Now, after the fact, no.
Wait, free SHS is not the same as 24-hour economy.
It was. That was a presentation. Selorm.
Let's not do this. 24-hour economy is comparable to Ghana Beyond Aid, for example.
No.
All right?
No. 24-hour economy is not aspiration. No, hold on. You cannot have 133. Specific. One job, 3 people, 3 shifts. No.
The outcome.
That is the deliverable. That is
implementation.
Selorm, relax. That's the deliverable. Your understanding is different. So allow me to say what I am saying. You cannot be conditioning my thinking.
No, I'm not conditioning
you. So allow me. Hold on. When somebody tells you there's one job here, your program, they will run it 3 shifts. 3 people will host this program, so that when we close now, another person will come. That is a specific promise.
Yes, but that will come.
So I am just saying that. you have to provide for it. You have to make that budgetary allocation for that job, 3 people doing it. Okay, so if you are telling me, for example, that, okay, well, Ministry of Foreign Affairs is doing passport, 3 shifts, one job, 3 people are doing it. Does that reflect in the budgetary allocation? Do you have any evidence now? Hold on, please. Do you have any evidence now of recruitment at Ministry of Foreign Affairs that reflect that one job you have 3 people doing it?
No, but if,
Do you have that? Do you have that? You are telling me that that's the case. But is it that the case?
I'm saying that.
It's
So, for example,
Selorm.
if
So
DVL,
please,
wait.
So I hope you are not going to come back and say time because I'm not finished.
I'm engaging you, and Richard Kumada is there, and everybody is listening.
I'm not listening.
If, for example,
you know,
Nana, you have to be serious. These are serious matters. So don't
you're not making sense.
No.
Tell me that. No. That one I'll take it from you. What do you mean by I'm not serious? You are saying that you are
not being serious.
No, I'm telling you that
You've got to be serious.
You are not serious. You don't know what you are talking about.
I know your style, so don't worry. You see, this is what she does.
We'll take a break then. Let's take a break. Let's take a break. Come back and continue the discussion. This is the big issue. We'll be right back.
Announcing Ghana's first unlimited photocopier leasing. Yes, from just 983 Ghana cedis, you can lease a multifunctional photocopier and print unlimited. Yes, unlimited and free paper every month. Guess what? That's not all. Toners, repairs, and maintenance all are free. And oh, I'm not kidding at all. And we cover the whole country. Yes, the whole country. What are you waiting for? Just visit us at www.valexlease.com or call 0244 644048. Remember, terms and conditions apply. Valix Lease, affordable document management solutions.
The City Business Olympics is back. It's all about team building, networking, and staying healthy. Which game will your company participate in this year? Is it 7-a-side football, volleyball, swimming, basketball, or sack race? Rally your teammates and get ready for action. Date, Saturday, September 27, 2025. Time, 8 a.m. Venue, Eden Heights Sports Complex. Call 0558-973-973 to register your company today. Let's keep fit, grow connections, and enjoy a day full of energy and excitement. The City Business Olympics 2025 is powered by City FM with support from Channel 1 TV, and it's proudly sponsored by UMB Bank and supported by Bethel Logistics.
Joining us this week on the Upside Down Show is the Miracles Abuaje. He's seen as one of the powerful communicators for his party. But did you know this about him?
So when did you know this, my mother?
I think that was somewhere class 4, 5. It was quite interesting. So one of my cousins, I think at that time, who knew, actually insulted me. You know, I think I remember that time he called me a bastard or something. It's okay, it's fine.
Of course.
I went to the village at that time on vacation. You know, long vacations.
Yeah.
We go to the village, the cuckoo and all of that. Then we are not the cuckoo. I said, oh, but why is he calling me a bastard?
When he found his dad, it was too late.
So you never met that man?
I never met him. I think the only time I met him, you know, funny enough, was last year, August, September, thereabout. But I met his obituary.
Oh, he died.
Also joining us on the show is the IPD Academy. So, make a date with us this Sunday at 7 p.m. prompt only on Channel 1 TV.
In a world filled with challenges, we all need guidance, hope, and a lifeline to anchor us.
This is Lifeline, and I'm your host, Fred Crunchy Mensa.
From social issues, relationship challenges, and family matters, Lifeline is here to inspire, uplift, and guide you on your journey.
Where we give you support, where we hold your hand through the valley and through the thick and thins of life.
Join Bishop Fred Crunchy Mensa.
I welcome you especially to Lifeline.
Every Tuesday and Thursday at 10 p.m. right here on Channel 1 TV. Let's walk this path together, strengthen our faith, our families, and our lives. Lifeline, because every soul deserves a guiding light. Tune in to Lifeline on Channel 1 TV and let's grow together.
Welcome back. This is the big issue. We're looking at the president's encounter with the media, dealing with some aspects of the economy, etc. After this, we'll deal with Galamsey and the state of emergency question and all of that. And Richard Kumado is on. Franklin Kujo is on. Same as Richard Ahiagba in the studio. Dr. Abdul Jalilu Ateku also in the studio. Nana Ya Achempim Jantwa, presidential staff house in the studio. Richard was making a point before we went for that break. Richard, so conclude on your points.
Yeah, so I wasn't near conclusion, but the point I'm making to you is that they make promises to us, which you'll be looking to as the basis for which the city is strengthening. Employment, production, leading to employment, were the things that can actually drive the economy. And so if those were the ones that were leading to the city strengthening, would have seen it. And so when they were doing it, we said that, how are you strengthening the city? The way you are going about it is not sustainable. You told us you're coming to do accelerated export program. That hasn't been started. You haven't funded that. There's no funding for it. All their flagship programs to do with the nation, thing, 1 million coders program, the funding, I don't see it. But the Jumara program, they have not started funding it. I mean, if you see funding, let me know.
No, but they've started the program.
But they started how many months into it?
No, there are people going through the program. I mean, the Minister for Youth Development made a point.
But I'm just saying, that.
The Jumara, the apprenticeship program, all of these.
No problem. I'm saying that at the point the CD was strengthening, and they were saying their policy was making it strengthen. Those programs we are talking about, which are indications of economic production or production that leads to export and therefore strengthening your currency organically, which then would have put you in a position now where the spike in terms of demand would not have caused any problem now, because you have built a sustainable way of earning forex, which then would go against your import. So even now, all the demands for import, okay, say for example maize, right? Based on the implementation of your policies, you should have a situation where your import of maize, for example, is reduced. Your import of rice is reduced. Now, when that happens, your forex demand for import goes down. You haven't done that. Okay, so when we've been talking about what you are doing, artificially inducing the appreciation of the city was not sustainable. What's actually true now, we have seen that they can't continue that. The World Bank, IMF told them they can't continue that, and suddenly the city is losing control. Where you and I sit now, as of Thursday, okay, I don't know about yesterday and today, and probably today or Monday, the interbank rate for the dollar was 12 cedis, 94 pesos. Okay, 13 cedis almost. In the forest market, the black market, if you go on the black market, you'll get a cedi more than 15 Ghana cedis to $1.
No, I did something yesterday.
In the black market?
Yeah, I made some inquiries.
Okay.
It was less than 13.9 in the black market.
Okay, well, I don't know which black market you go, but
and
now
other real black markets.
No, I'm just saying that. But this one, it
around,
depends on individuals. It's not always a negotiation.
Interbank is around 12.67.
No, I'm giving you a specific quote for Thursday. Okay, reported. In fact, even on your network, 12.94 reported. You understand? So, in the black market, it's more. The point is that it's going to continue to get worse unless we do the hard lifting of making sure in a sustainable way we implement policies that can hold us to increase our forest earnings to be able to balance against our forest demand. And this was what characteristically was said by the former governor to say that that's not the way to go.
Very well.
And that the reason why we suffered, just 1 second, the reason why we suffered and that the forex exchange rate between the cedi and the dollar was high. And you noticed that it got worse. And then from 17 and it came down, I think we left at 14.9, thereabouts, when we're leaving, 14.9 we're leaving office, right? The governor's argument was that you need sustainable measures to get it down. And from the 17, without intervening, the Bank of Ghana intervening in the market, we brought it down steadily from 17 till you got it at 14.95 when we left government. That's what you ought to do. That's what they had to continue with, but then no, they decided to do the artificial inducement, and that's why we are here today. So the economy, you know, the exchange rate is key. It cuts across, right? Because vastly our economy is import dependent. So when you get that wrong, everything is messed up.
Very well.
And so the economy, as the government rep would like to say, it's not good. My good prof friend is saying that is whatever is good. If your mother is dead,
Franklin too says the economy is.
And then what Franklin is saying that is good.
So everybody is saying one thing.
I'm just saying
something else.
Well, it doesn't matter. It's based.
It doesn't mean it's right or wrong. But
yes. If the point is that if your mother is dead, and you say she is sleeping, when it is in the evening to serve dinner, you tell us, or you realize that indeed there's a difference between death and sleep. That's the situation we're in now. What they told us was happening, it's not what is happening. Now the chicken are coming home to roost, and the economy is beginning to lose the handle they artificially put on it.
Great. Now, I'll give you 2 minutes to respond to things you want to respond to. Then we'll move to the issue of Galamsey.
You see, my dear.
No, just start it and we'll see.
I'm starting.
Yeah.
I'm saying that when His Excellency Mahama met the media, he touched on 24-hour economy and spoke about market models. He also touched about the establishment of a law of the authority which will be legislated so that when another person comes, another government comes, this important economic intervention will not be put aside. If you want a synonymous program that did not work under NPP, Agenda 111, which was supposed to do what? Create jobs.
We've seen the hospital buildings around at various stages of completion.
Where are they?
No, they are scattered.
And the one district, one factory, where are they?
We've seen a few of them around. A Kumfi juice is one of them.
A Kumfi juice, is it working? So it's only a
Kumfi juice is working.
No, is it only a Kumfi juice?
Their products are in the market.
Me, I don't even take a Kumfi juice because I'm allergic to pineapple.
People take it.
But I'm saying that there are some people who don't take pineapple.
But people will not everybody will take everything.
I am saying that there are other people. So where are the alternatives on a Kumfi juice for those of us who don't take pineapple? Is there only one juice product, only one fruit in this country? Agenda 111 for the medical people, then one district, one factory is synonymous to this 24-hour economy. Right now, DVLA is working, the port is working, passport, assembly press. And you will see it in the budget of the institution.
So you're saying that in those places you've mentioned, the DVLA, the ports, assembly press, etc.,
yes.
we have one job being done by 2 or 3 people.
Yes,
3 people.
Yes, go to assembly press. They even tell me that
3 people doing one job.
Yes, they tell me that they even work better in the evening. In the night when everybody is not around, they are now producing more bushes. They are producing books.
So one job, 3 people are doing assembly press. When you go there, we will see that.
But how can you get one person doing 24 hours? Ghana,
Maybe if 20 people were working the day, you could say, okay, 10 people come in the morning, 10 people come in the evening. So the same people but have different schedules.
Because all those 20 people, then you are telling me that there were people in that institution who were redundant.
I don't know. I'm just asking.
So I am saying that people at this program is working.
I see.
Do you understand?
Very
It's
well.
working. And if you get the budget of any economy, the remuneration of these people who are working, it will not come under 24-hour economy. It will come under their budget.
The agencies.
Yes, because they are going to pay the people, not 24-hour economy. Do you get me? But when the 24-hour economy secretariat is put up as an authority under law, that is where their operations will appear in
But will you admit that the way the 24-hour economy was sold, it gave the impression as if it was something going to happen immediately, and one job 3 people were going to do it, there'll be abundance of jobs for a lot of people.
My dear, it has happened though. We have to look at it and see how it is going on. It has happened.
At the pace and how it was sold to us.
Yes, but how many, you see the way we are behaving, somebody came 8 years. The gestation period for the development of this economy, it took 8 years. Even that one, the economy was still in shambles. It was wobbling. Somebody has come 9 months. He says he wants to do 3 shifts in 9 months.
And the shifts are working?
Yeah, the shift, where they have started are working. It's not even 9 months, it's 8 months, and you compare it to somebody who came 8 years.
But that person didn't promise 3 jobs, three
They promised 1 district, 1 factory is what?
It's to create jobs.
It is create jobs.
And create
and
produce things for export.
it became a business development scheme. Because then they now started supporting, giving incentives to existing companies. When you speak about it, they'll tell you that they said in their manifesto that it is in tandem with the private sector. Fine. But in tandem with the private sector means that the private sector will be an engine of growth under the 1D1F.
Which was what was it? Well, it was actually.
But there's a
for
difference.
the private people who are given facilities to expand.
Yes, but there's a
pharmaceuticals,
difference between a startup. That is where you also come in. That if you have a startup, then we are employing people afresh. But if
you are expanding,
if
you are
that is where you use the same people who are working.
No, for example, if I'm in a pharmaceutical,
most of the private sector,
and I produce maybe 10, let's say 10 boxes of medicine, and I've been given a facility, I've expanded, and within the same period I can now produce 20. I certainly need more hands to do
I am
work.
telling you, go into the private. I mean, I worked in private sector as a regulator, GIPC Free Zones Board. Do you get me? The private sector. That is why. Have you noticed that most people who finish school, the challenge is that they want to go into the government sector. Do you get me? Most people want to go into the government sector because it's more secure and it is more policy driven. That if government says I'm doing 24-hour economy, I'm going to run 3 shifts. Do you get me? It is going to be done.
So for you, the 24-hour economy is on. The jobs are being sent
the
out.
portion that I even want now are the model markets.
So the model markets, when are they going to start? Are we going to build model markets?
No, you see, for instance,
or we're going to redesign the market?
We can redesign, we can build, we can even use what we look.
So we have timelines for that.
For instance, if we have, I always use Makola and all these markets. If it's running 24 hours, if it is running 24 hours, I can go there and buy. You find that more women will come in there and get stalls. They'll get places to sell because they know that if I go to the market at 12 midnight, I will find somebody who will come and buy in the market.
And our security will be strengthened. In the night, you can walk about and do all
in the
of that
security,
without fear.
Electricity, and that is where the time
power
of you
will be on.
That is the
Doom
time
Sol
of
will not happen
use.
in the market.
What is doom so
Now, when I mean the power will not go
but
off
now
in the
we
market.
don't have doom so.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
And we
power
are going
will not go off
to
in the
use
market because the demand then will be high.
No, we are using solar
For the markets.
for the markets.
We started or we will do.
No, we'll do. I mean, you have to put it. The Ministry of Energy is putting together a program because you need to do it very well.
Very well.
Yes, to provide solar lights, street lights in the markets, in areas, all the dark areas. They are going to put lights all over.
Very well. Great. Nice. So, yes, this is the big issue, 97.3 City FM. Your messages are welcome on our text line, 020-444-7033. So that's quite some response there. And now we want to move to the next topic, Doc. We want to move to the next topic and deal with Galamsey, which is another major thing that is being plaguing this country, and that came up big time at the president's encounter. Richard Kumado is a security consultant. It's been seen as a major security issue, and the talk about state of emergency, I keep saying state of the nation, state of emergency to be declared. And indeed, a couple of weeks ago, chairman of the NDC, Asirin Keita, spoke to my colleague Umaru Sanda, where he said he was not in favor of the state of emergency because it's actually not a good thing to do, because anybody could be victim of it. People could be killed, people could be shot and killed, etc. And so he was of the view that we should take other approaches other than the state of the emergency. The president re-echoed similar sentiments and said that we have not fully exhausted the other avenues open to us, like enforcing the law, etc. And so the state of emergency should be the last resort. Have we reached a point where we will ask for state of emergency? But what really is this state of emergency that nobody wants to touch? Richard Kumado is a security consultant. Richard, good morning. Welcome to the program. What can you tell us a state of emergency looks like, and why is it difficult for anybody to touch it? The last regime, Nanado's government, did not want to do the state of emergency, and now we are seeing a similar thing. What is the state of emergency beyond what we have in the Constitution, Article 31, talking about emergency powers, etc.? Beyond the law, how does the state of emergency operationalization happen or occur that is carrying the politicians away?
So, to the layman knowledge, a state of emergency is a restrictive measure that can be deployed by community leaders or national leaders, for that matter, to help them curtail a critical issue that has befallen them in specific areas. And because we are talking about to curtail and a restrictive power, once a president declares state of emergency, it comes with all the security measures that will enforce the restrictive aspect of it. So when you take Tesano where you are, if they declare state of emergency that no car should move into Tesano, it means that the enclave where you are going to have a restrictive order to enforce the law that no vehicle should move into that particular enclave. And people will begin to walk from Achimota, or begin to walk from Abekan La Paz, or begin to walk from Kwame Nkrumah Circle, or walk from the Tesano police headquarters, because of the law that no car should enter within the Tesano area. It creates some high levels of discomfort, number one, and it also makes sure that in achieving the security compliance of it, whoever violates the restrictive procedure could come under some level of attack, or could come under some level of restrictiveness. And restrictive force used by military in particular may lead to some level of casualties or fatalities. And that is why all our two presidents, at least President Nana Akufo-Addo and President Mahama, are very cautious in triggering that protocol with the restrictive measures it comes with, due to the fact that you will not only need the police to enforce it, but you are using the special forces within the Ghana Police Service and the military for that matter, and they will enforce it to the letter. And so, Selorm, to the layman's knowledge and the basis of it, this is what it is when we say we are declaring state of emergency.
So enforcing the state of emergency means what? What does the enforcement mean? Enforcement how to bring in the military and the police. What does that enforcement
So the enforcement means that when you take Galamsey, for instance, and you take a particular place, let's say Osino, in that particular area, I don't know whether Galamsey takes place there, but if you take Osino or a particular place where Galamsey takes place, and you enforce the state of emergency, and it says that nobody should go within that particular area, it means that whether you are going to hospital, whether you are going to farm, or whether you are fetching water, the procedure, one of the areas of procedure or the measure to which the state of emergency has been declared is that no human being should enter into that particular area, or no human being should engage in any activity within that area. Once you have military officers or special forces within the police to enforce it, whoever they see, in plain terms, we say no movement. And anything that moves will be taken down. Whether it's an animal or whether it's a human being, will be taken down, or they will be physically restrained from entering into the zones that has been declared as part of the state of emergency. And that is why when you hear President Mahama spoke, he put in a very lengthy word, which was very fast, and I don't know whether people notice it. He said, when you look at the areas that Galamsey is taking place, it's a very wide area. And when you declare state of emergency, it means that there's going to be a restrictive force within those areas. But when you look at how our countries and communities are set up, people move from one area to another area, not necessarily engaging in Galamsey, but if there's a restrictive force under the state of emergency, there will not be any movement, no food will be sold, no hospital. People may not have access to hospitals. People may not even have access to fetching water, because if we are not careful and the powers that be says that there should be no movement within those enclaves, and you are going to create high levels of discomfort, and you are going to create high levels of casualties and fatalities because of the powers that is given to the military in particular to enforce the restrictive nature of it. It's just like when COVID came and we say certain cars shouldn't come into the city, or when you are coming into the city, you should put on a nose mask. And maybe you live within the city, Tesano, and you are just walking to Cardiff to buy wachi or something, and you've forgotten your nose mask, and you meet the police officer just about 200 meters away from your house. Because they have to enforce the law, they wouldn't necessarily ask where do you live and why you leave your nose mask. The law is that put on your nose mask, and whether you move 10 meters away from your house or not, you are obliged. And it comes with some level of restrictiveness, and if care is not taken, it may lead to casualties and fatality. And I believe that is why our two commanders-in-chief of the Ghana Armed Forces, President Akufo-Addo and President Mahama, are very hesitant in going straight to a state of emergency when we have other options around. And so allow me to also make this point forcefully, that when it comes to this whole issue about Galamsey, there's a lot of miscommunication and misinformation around it. And that is what is heightening the tension or the emotions around it. And when you bring in politics between NDC and MPP, we are not going to resolve it. So let's allow the standard procedures to be followed as it's been ascribed now. And I can tell you from where we sit as security intelligence officers, and I have done risk assessment around the Galamsey areas for the past 4 to 5 years. And some things are being done right, and certain things need to be done more. And it's not allowing us to engage in the proper discussion of what we can do and what we cannot do. But all of us go to the periphery and we engage in NDC MPP politics, and it doesn't really solve the problem. So that is the point I want to make. So at the back of it, if you declare state of emergency, how the degradation and devastation has been done to our environment, you are going to loop in a lot of areas into the area. And when the police and the military comes there, under the state of emergency law or the certificate of emergency, there's going to be problems. So I think we should rather be asking a sense of urgency, and that goes with carrying on everybody.
Very
and
well.
we can do something about it.
Very well. Thanks so much, Richard, for that. Let me come to the studio and talk to Richard Ahiangba. So Richard, I mean, with that explanation from the security person, is it the state of emergency we really want in the affected areas, or we need honest leadership to get a problem solved? From what we've seen, both sides have appeared to have difficulties with the fight against Galamsey. Both sides have been unable to impose a state of emergency, and we've danced around it, and the issue continues to fester. What is the approach? Still state of emergency?
Selorm, I have listened to Mr. Kumado, and I understand where he's coming from, but I think that the rendition is overly, creating a certain picture of fear. If you look at his definition of it. But state of emergency has been declared in natural disasters. He used COVID and all of those things. It can be done. We need it. Everything else that can be tried has been tried. You know, organized labor wanted this. And in exchange, when President didn't do it, took some key steps. I'm talking about Akufo-Addo in October 2024. Resulting from that, he outlined 4 main steps in his view, to address it. And it appears that organized labor agreed with him. Among them, additional deployment of military personnel to intensify the implementation of Operation Halt, which was then in motion, but then given the state of affairs, was not yielding the needed result. And so therefore, the agreement that organized labor came to with him was, 1, to intensify that deployment, and 2, to suspend the implementation of mining in water bodies and forest, effectively suspending the environmental protection regulation that is LI 2462, immediate effect. That was suspended before NDC came to government. So it technically, coming into 2025, LI 2462 was not enforced. It was not being enforced. Okay? It was suspended. And then, in addition to that, creating additional courts to facilitate dealing with Galamsey, crime, which is a measure put together you anticipate would be able to address the issue. In 2017, when Akufo-Addo became president, in January, I remember very clearly, he issued a 6-month ban on small-scale mining. That ban was extended another 3 months, and then extended again. I think in 2018, the ban was repealed. Now, Selorm, that ban was close to, a state of emergency as you would have it, because you identify a disaster or menace that is detrimental to the well-being of the country and our society, and you take a drastic step to deal with it by banning the act. In addition to banning, the Operation Vanguard, Galamsey, and all of those operations were put in place to make sure there was no return, to the field, to Galamsey. What did we see? The report was that people were still engaging in the act. So now, President Mahama tells us that the state of emergency is not what we need. But somehow, there are laws on the book, or on our books now, that we have not exhausted, that we have not exercised. And I was left wondering, what are those laws? And in trying to explain it, he says, we can still arrest people, confiscate. We have done all of that. We have arrested people. And I just told you, establishment of courts. I think immediately 4 courts were established, and the president directed in that issue, directed the Attorney General to engage the Chief of Staff, the Chief Justice, to create more courts, to facilitate, punishment with a view to deter. Those things have been done. Everything imaginable. So the question is that, what law is President Mahama talking about on the books that has not been exercised? You are a lawyer, maybe you can tell us. If there are any such laws, that are currently on the books that have not been exercised, why are they not being exercised by him till now? Why is he waiting? What is he waiting for? And he told us, President Mahama told us, that he had recalled the IGP's men, for failure to coordinate properly with NIMOS. So do you need a recall, total recall from the field, in order to get coordination? That because you are playing a game of football and you think that your tactics is not going, then you call timeout, you tell referee stop the game.
What's your suspicion?
Sorry?
What's your suspicion?
Lack of interest in fighting the thing. Lack of interest. Look, the only people, then President Mahama admitted again, where people are talking about that thing was honest. One honest admission is that the president said that Gold Board is buying Galamsey gold. That was an admission from the
point he
president.
made was that they're buying
No?
it. So whether it's illegal or not,
But
if
Selorm,
the
why
country
do you
must
always
benefit.
want to teach me how to speak?
No, because
but I'm telling you that
I'm
effectively,
stating the facts, yeah.
no, that's not what you're saying. You decide to say it that way. But what the president said, in essence, is that yes, they are buying it.
Yeah, so instead of doing it illegally and going to sell it to other people,
spare me the justification.
let the country benefit.
Spare me the justification. They are buying it. Why they are buying it is his justification.
No, but why they are buying it is also important.
But that's not the point we are talking about. Why are we justifying it? We are saying he said it. Did he say it? If he said it, then you can
context.
It's like you say you have stolen it. I'm not interested. Once you tell me you have stolen it, the reason why you stole it is not important to me because it's illegal.
Yes.
Selorm, it's illegal to steal. So when you say, well, I stole it because I'm hungry, and I'm not interested in your justification. You are not to steal. So when you steal and you are telling me, oh, listen to me because I was hungry, does it mean you didn't break the law? The thing is illegal. Why is a legal entity buying an illegal product? You are a lawyer. You should elaborate on that. So that's a very terrible situation we have on our hands. That an entity established by law is engaged in business with an illegal enterprise. That's scandalous. That is something you want to impeach somebody about. When we just remove a chief justice because people processed her, her travel things for her. She didn't process it herself. There were officers in charge, okay, for processing these per diems.
Great.
That one, you remove an individual from office for that. Now you are telling us that you have set up a gold board that is buying illegal gold, and that's okay? You understand? So what I'm saying is that the president is running away from fighting Galamsey. Quite simply, this state of emergency that people are telling us and making it look very scary, okay? It is not.
Very well.
It is what we need now or nothing would work. And I was careful to tell you what Akufo-Addo tried, close to a state of emergency, but it didn't work. Okay? Good. What you need now is a complete shutdown. And state of emergency can be guided. It's a situation that has a reason because there's an imminent danger to the state. And you can address it. Right now, if you declare a state of emergency and hand our water bodies and forests to the military, okay? Because when you declare a state of emergency, you use military tactics and strategies to be able to correct the anomaly that has arisen. So you suspend the law, technically, and you have these tactics be able to restore order, right? So right now, if you declare a state of emergency, we're not saying that you prevent people from going anywhere. You can declare a state of emergency and say Allah because you know what problem you had. You know what problem you had. You can stay in your house without wearing nose mask. Was that not the case? But when you come out, you must wear a nose mask. So there's a limit within which people can still find their comfort. So if you don't want to wear nose mask, you stay in your house. But if you want to go out, you wear it, and then you can, because that is in the interest of society. So we need, I beg you, we need the state of emergency. Its declaration will not be as scary as Richard talked about it in standard definition, right? But in this application, a president can come to an understanding and say that because it's widespread, okay, in many, many districts and all of that, but because it is eminently threatening our livelihood and environment, you have to do something about it. Everything else has been tried, okay? Because that solution is necessary to be able to stop it, you go and declare state of emergency and say that all the forests of reserves of our country are off limit. All water bodies are off limit. Anybody seen on that, regular due process will not work. You understand? That's part of the declaration. So you suspend the Constitution in terms of application in that order and ensure that certain seriousness is brought to the fight. So we can curtail or can deal with that menace because it is that dangerous and everything else has been tried. I am waiting for the president. Okay, that's the one thing I wanted to ask Nanaya to go and ask at the Jubilee House to say that what are the laws that are yet to be, what are the laws yet to be exercised so that we know that we have a comfort in getting this thing resolved. But if not, a state of emergency is not negotiable.
Very well. Doc, the state of emergency become a difficulty, and we've seen how indecisive or should I call it indecisiveness, how unwilling we have been to impose a state of emergency. You heard the president, you've heard the argument of civil society. What's your analysis of it?
Thank you very much, Selorm. Whether to declare or not to declare, right? We have experienced this in the past under the MPP. Okay, at a certain point in time, there were calls for a state of emergency to be declared, right? I do remember. Yes, I also supported it, right? If you ask me today now, I'll give you a different story. I will say it is not. And someone will ask, why do you think that now it is not, even though you said that previously? It should be something, it should be the last resort, okay?
But at the time
I'm coming. Yes, that's where I'm coming to, okay? At the time, President Akufo-Addo said that he put his presidency on the line, right, in the fight against Galamsey. It means that he was poised to do what was necessary to deal with that. If at that time people had asked for a state of emergency, I would have said that no, the president is giving us something. So let's look at his approach, okay? It got to a point where, like he said, for 6 months, okay, that there shouldn't be mining, illegal mining. They suspended mining and all that. But what happened? The information we had in some of the videos, whatever, from ANAS and other things, there were politicians mining when they have even asked people to leave the forest and other things.
Now. The politicians retreated.
I'm coming. All right. So if you look at it until even when they were going at like 2004 elections, you can clearly see that they were disabled. They could not do anything. So at that point, people called for a state of emergency because it is an extraordinary, measure that is put down by the state to deal with when there is threat to life or crisis or anything. It could be natural disasters and all that. So if you normally give a government time, right, to do whatever they can in order to be able to do it. But if things are very clear that the government is becoming clueless in dealing with it, then you ask that, then the government should roll out, should take the necessary or the last resort measures to be able to deal with that. Now, if you look at the reason why I will not support it is that for now, because this is where we have a government that is just about 8 months, okay? President Mahama said that we have the capacity to be able to deal with it, just as Akufo-Addo, started and all that. So why wouldn't we allow to see whatever this government will do, okay? If they are failing, if it is taken to a point where they cannot, we can now put pressure on them that, well, we have given you enough time, you've not been able to deal with it, and therefore, pressures can be on them to declare a state of emergency to be able to this thing. So it shouldn't be like the fact that maybe the MPP failed in doing it, okay? It doesn't mean that the laws are not there. The laws are there. So let's see what this government will do. If they should, there are signs of them also failing, then it means that we can ask them to take the last measures to be able to deal with it. And that is the reason why, in my view, I think that we should give them some time to see what they'll be able to do. If they are, the signs are clear that they are failing, then it means that the state of emergency can be decent. And then, like Richard said something, I wrote it down, and then he also raised that issue about the, government buying illegal, gold. I just wrote when President, I said that no. Something that is illegal is illegal. They should do the necessary, put the necessary measures in place to be able to ensure that people will not engage in that.
But the point is,
yes,
people do it anyway. And
so you have the capacity to ensure that people will not do it.
So now that that capacity, we've not utilized it to make people stop.
They should utilize it.
Yes. So I'm just saying,
yes,
they have it now.
Yes.
You want them to go and sell it to other people,
but
the state should have it.
If you are buying illegal...
Or the state should rather confiscate it so that it serves as punishment.
Well, exactly. So you have the capacity to be able to do that. It's illegal. So seize it or whatever it is rather than buying it. Because if you are buying it, then you are rewarding, you are telling them that it is good.
Very well.
So when he was speaking, that's what I wrote. I said, no. And that's what I think he also raised. So I believe that for that aspect, I do not support the idea of buying. They should confiscate it to the state. Illegal thing is an illegal thing, and the state should not also engage in illegality.
Great. Nanaya, it does appear that the force with which, the opposition at the time fought or thought they wanted Galamsey fought, it's not the same force we are fighting it with in government. Is there something we don't know about the fight that makes successive governments struggle in dealing with it the way the citizenry expects?
You see, the fight for fight of Galamsey, as the president said, it's a continuous fight, and I do not think that it is continuous to the end where it will not stop. Where we've gotten now, there's a need for us to come together and fight it. We have our own sisters and our brothers doing it. Just a moment ago, Mr. Ahiaba said that His Excellency Nana Addo tried to fight it, tried to put in place an emergency, state of emergency, like a pilot one, and it didn't help. So if that history is there, you do a pilot to see if the real thing will work, and the pilot did not work. Why then do we go there? If there are laws, if there are laws that can be used to fight it. And as Prof said, the government just came in 8 months.
But the menace is still eating deep into our environment, and the harm is not waiting for the government to settle. The harm is still happening.
You see, we are crowding everything. For instance, he said something. He said that the IGP's group and the other group are clashing. So the president said that they should halt so that
to disband it.
To disband them so that we regularize He added that disband and regularize operations.
So now that it's been disbanded, what's happening?
No, but
people have a free time.
No, they don't have a. You know, the military is there. There's
the Blue River. But those people, they are not armed. What can they do?
Oh, but it's not always that you have to be armed to fight.
What can they do?
For instance, I
have
a son who is in illegal small-scale mining. They went into his concession and said his was illegal and arrested him.
The police people, the
yes.
IGP people.
Do you get me? And
but you should have showed them documents.
He did everything, but they locked him up. Later on, they found out that it was a mistake. So this is what the president.
Your son?
Yes.
Your proper son? Your son?
Yes, my son.
I see.
This is what the president is talking about. It's not like my sister's son. Do you get me? This is what the president is talking about. Let's hold on and see how it goes. You see, even in a football, when there's a clash between two teams, the referee can stop it for a minute and try to deal with the situation. And that time that is spent to deal with the conflict, most times is added on to extra time.
Yeah, but this one, the environment is being degraded.
I'm just telling you that when there's a clash,
it's destroyed,
when there's a clash and you think it's not working and there's confusion, you can do it and come back. And that one, it is urgent, so it is not something that's going to waste time. Do you get it? But at the same time, the place is not left as it is. Look, yesterday, we met Ghana Water doing a presentation as PRC, doing a presentation to industry, AGI, Commerce, Chamber of Commerce, and all the others. It came out that there's a lot of human activity in our river bodies around these water headworks, which is compromising the water. So now they have to use more chemical. Do you get me? We asked the question, apart from Galamsey, is there other activities that we are not even looking? They are talking about sand winning. That is also getting into our river bodies. So yesterday, the Ghana Water person said that water, potable water is life. And they are so worried about turbidity in these waters. So this issue of Galamsey must be fought on all fronts.
Yeah, but
please,
you get a sense that people are disappointed because they don't feel that the government. So, for example, the repeal of the LI.
Yes, the LI.
We thought we were all on the same page. Yes. Government comes and says we are amending it instead of repeal. That was a major point of disappointment. After the death of now we've seen a document.
That's what I'm saying. That now, do you get me? You see, we have to remember something that in this country there are a lot of stakeholders.
Yeah, but you should have known that before.
No, but I am saying that now. So why are they now repealing it? Because they think that it has to be done.
Because the ultimate has happened. People have paid for it. People have died.
No, but whatever it is being repealed. Do you get me? It is being repealed, and we need to find.
The point I'm making is that people thought that was clear.
Which one?
7 January. Soon after that, the first thing that any government would do about Galamsey was a repeal. In any case, the previous government had taken steps to begin the repeal of the law, but Parliament changed.
I am saying that, you see, sometimes talking about these things, I really need to get into the mind. I haven't had time to sit down to find out why it was an amendment but not a repeal, and now is a repeal. Before I do that, I will only use my mind to say that it has come to the time where we have to do it. And as His Excellency Mahama said, ever since he came, no license has been given even to legal small-scale mining. And nobody is allowed to mine in our river bodies or forests. So what is happening right now is very illegal. Selorm, sometimes I think about it, I say that this thing is a menace. People have been shot. People have died in pits. People have died in pits after going into the concession of some of the big miners, Newmont and Co. And they have died in these pits. People are giving birth to maimed children. And even when you go there, you go and educate them.
The more reason why we have to be decisive with it.
I'm coming. When you go there and you educate them, as if they are not even listening.
Because it's an economic issue.
That is why I'm coming.
Deal with it.
So
we have to deal with it with the full force. Of the
but
law
I'm saying that is why we are doing all these interventions to enable these young ones get jobs. Because I always said, and I always say that when you arrest a young man on some of these concessions, and the president also said it, these are not the people who send the 6 billion illegal gold that was leaving this country. They don't have access to international markets. So as we fight this, we should even look beyond.
But you think buying, you know it's illegal, and you are buying it from them. Is that proper? Shouldn't we rather seize it from them?
I have to look at the gold board law. What is in there? Because everything is law.
Once it's wrong, it's wrong.
But I'm saying that I have to look at the gold board.
Which means that we know the people doing the illegal thing. Because you need to be arresting them.
What you are saying is by inference. So what I'm saying
the president said we buy.
But I'm saying that for us to be clear on this, I've been busy with this PURC tariffs and all. But I really want to get to it that is there a law that allows the gold board to do ABCD? Or is it a way also bringing them on board? Because you know there is an intervention which says that the gold board is going to set up I think something for small scale miners. 300 of them worth $1 billion. And they are also going to set up a gold refinery.
Let me take a few messages, and I'll give you a few minutes to deal with the PURC matter, which you.
Argument. If I go and talk, you say that somebody's nonsense.
No, nobody has said that. All right, so Chris from Ashalibotu says, Selorm, why is Richard so emotional and bitter about a government that has brought joy and cleaned up the mess they created? Has Richard forgotten how pensioners struggle to assess their hard-earned money, with some even dying painful deaths? Franklin Kujo has spoken the true minds of Ghanaians. Richard should know that Ghanaians don't eat grammar. Richard must be living on another planet called Kukudu. Okay, that's Chris from Ashalibotu. There's a long one from Jojo Okran in Hachu. It says, good morning. Our people have been doing Galamsey for years, yet the destruction was not on such a large scale. This only became a problem when we started mining around river bodies and forest reserves. Question really is, one, what exactly is the fight against Galamsey, and is the intervention we have deployed so far enough to solve the problem? What happened to the call by the NDC for a state of emergency when in opposition? This disbandment of police task force does not show good intentions at all. Today, the Ghana Water Company is asking for over 200% increment, yet we are excited about $4 billion from the gold board. What are the indicators on the number of deformed deaths? Where is the sense of urgency if we cannot declare a state of emergency when we are being poisoned every day? What is difficult in a temporary pause on small-scale mining? So what is difficult about a temporary pause on small-scale mining? What is difficult in temporarily banning the importation of excavators? Even repealing a low-hanging fruit like LI 2462 is a problem. Your house is burning, your wife and children are in, and you are happy to retrieve your car. I leave it to the landlords at the Jubilee House. That's from Jojo Okran in Hacho. I mean, deals with quite a number of the issues. This one says, the impression the ordinary man on the street had was that first job, or one job, 3 people to reduce level of unemployment. The details of how it was going to be implemented was not clear. So it's similar to the free SHS policy that ended us with double track. Okay. All right, so let me give you 2 minutes each on the PURC. A number of, I'll start off with you, Ms. Jantua. A number of
you can call me Nanaya.
But Richard has to call him Ms. Jantua.
He's insulted me this morning, so he cannot call me Nanaya.
Sorry, he hasn't actually.
He has.
The point is that the utility companies are asking for very huge increments. Ghana Water 280, ECG 225%, etc. What is the way forward? The president says it doesn't mean they are going to get this. Why these huge
No, because these are proposals.
Yeah, but the proposals are so huge.
No, you see, these are proposals, and I was telling them that, you see, this is for them, it's not for us. They should be sitting here explaining this to you. We come in at the end of the day when we are determining the tariff. And we also do the stakeholder meetings with the media, with everybody, because in the, apart from the technical details of the parameters of exchange rate and all that, there's something called the decision variable. So the decision variable is what you are telling me now that it is huge. So we'll certainly factor in that variable as we also factor in the technical parameters. They have brought this to us, and this is what they want. They think that this will enable them provide the best quality of service to Ghanaians.
Did they factor in their own inefficiencies?
Everything is there.
Inefficiencies, commercial losses.
Because you see, I think yesterday as I sat there, I told my executive secretary, Dr. Shafiq, that there should be a lot of education. Because when I left the PURC after 8 years, I thought by now we should be understanding some of the things. For instance, there's a benchmark loss of 21%. Depending on your system, it ranges between 15 to 21%. In some area jurisdictions where they have well-developed systems, your benchmark loss is 10%. This benchmark loss is factored into the tariff. Anything beyond your benchmark loss is your loss. You cannot
so
pass
our
it on.
benchmark loss is 21%.
Yes, and they are doing more than 21%. The rest is not factored into the tariff, it's their loss. How they deal with it is their own business. But we are also telling them to bring down the benchmark loss. Even the benchmark loss, we are telling them that they should bring it down. We are going to put in place mechanisms to ensure that it is brought down. These are proposals. And when they bring their proposals, you don't have the right as the regulator to intervene. When you do that, then it means you want to micromanage
But
them.
surely you can assure us that we are not going to see an increment of even 200% or 100%.
No, just let's see what the calculations will be. And you see, there is an average end user tariff. That is what you will pay. So if they have all these figures as their increases, when you do the average, it will not come near to this.
Very well.
Do you get me? But these are, and sometimes you see somebody is doing per kilowatt hour of electricity, let's say 9 pesos. If the person is asking for 100%, it's 18 pesos. So if somebody says I'm asking for 100% of increase, you are talking about 18 pesos.
So, but that on a large scale is a lot of money, and that will affect us.
No, because you see, the point is that if you do what, there are bands in there that will allow you to be prudent with your electricity. Because if you are prudent with your electricity, certainly you are going to pay less.
Very well.
Yeah.
Very well. Doc, just a quick one on this. We want institutions to perform well and function efficiently. Do they deserve this, given all the issues about inefficiency we've had, or we need to give them this, or a good percentage of it, so that they can better their systems and deliver well?
Well, I think 200% in whatever they are asking for, in my view, I think that is just way off board, right? And certainly they will need something in order to be able to provide the services, right? So I think that they have to sit with their, the stakeholders to be able to address that, and they should also take into consideration the fact that those lapses, right, the inefficiencies, I think that those are very, very important that they need to deal with it so that, I mean, citizens can, we need regular flow of whether it is water and whatever we think we can. For citizens, they will be ready to pay if only they are getting the services. But unfortunately, in most parts, I mean, it becomes sometimes difficult to even get water, like maybe in the area where I live. So it's difficult. The whole way, Nanakurum area. You get only one. That area. Yes.
I see.
Once a week, maybe Friday, for just some few hours, and then that ends it. So I think that, Nanakurum last week.
Great.
It's always a problem.
Richard, you have the final word on this. Do they deserve? Do they deserve something? It's been something that has been happening, but how much of it do you think they deserve? 2 minutes.
I would rather talk about Bronye matter, but you have the PURC matter.
Yes.
I think that they have done their calculations, what they think is reasonable, economically relevant for them to stay afloat is what they have brought. I know the government through its staffers will be there trying to force their hands, oh, bring it down, bring it down.
Is that what the practice has been?
That's what they are doing. That's
is that what the practice has been?
No, but that's what they have said. That's what the president said, that even though they have asked it, it doesn't mean they are going to get it.
But hasn't always been the case. They ask for the money, but they don't always give them.
I don't know if Akufo-Addo said that to you, but President Mahama has said it. And his staffer here has confirmed that technical variable, decision variable, and technical variable. So the idea is that the organization is not performing or operating at optimum. Some of their costs are not being recovered because government is going to force them to accept lower than what reflect their inputs and what will make them, operate viably. And so for me, it adds to the cost of living crisis that they have plunged us into, and things are just going to get worse. They are speaking now today and pretending the thing is not happening, but just like the CD depreciation, the hour will come where the defense will not make sense anymore. I think that is a difficulty that Ghanaians have to go through, but we pray that God will save us. This government, I don't have confidence in it that it will save us.
Very well. That's Richard Ahiagba. Thanks so much. Earlier, you had Anaya Achimpim Jantua, presidential staffer, Dr. Abdul Jalilu Ateku, political scientist, University of Ghana, and Franklin Kujo, President Imani Africa. And of course, you heard Richard Kumado is a security consultant. My name is Selorm Adonoo. Thanks so much for being with us. Have a good afternoon.
Hello, welcome to Play to Aid and to the exciting end of the first season's redemption episode. 6 individuals? Yes, that's right. 6 people will play for money, and as the usual, not for themselves but for charity, and also promote volunteerism. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Hydra. Please let's meet these wonderful individuals, who might tell us which musician would make the best teacher. First up is Kiki, the self-professed nerd, the YouTuber who wants to be a lawyer. Wondering why the turntable? Anyway, she is a winner, back to defend her title today. Here's Angela, loves Barbie, sang "Thank You for Loving Me." Shh. She's our beautiful makeup artist back for redemption. Vanel, winner by 0.1. Back to defend his title, made confusing victory speech ever and also mastermind for the boring pineapple jingle. Remember Patricia? The singing cybersecurity expert who promised to be back, more prepared for redemption. But is she? Also back for redemption is Edna, lecturer and content creator, wouldn't mind an adventure as Dora the Explorer. However, it looks like her adventure today is being a mixologist. Looked quite disappointed when she came in second. And last but not least, Shadrach. Student and part-time cinematographer. He is also the confused defense lawyer who had his client arrested. A winner back to defend his title. Viewers, please let's take a quick break, during which our players will pair up forming teams of 3. Together, let's find out who is pairing up with who when we come back. Don't go away. Hi, lovely people. End of season. Shouldn't be an end of support for victims of abuse and advocacy against violence. Play to Aid still strongly condemns violence and abuse of any kind. We therefore encourage you all to do your bit. Don't be silent. Be bold, and please report offenders. Thank you, and let's enjoy the show. Good people. Today, we are coming to you from non-parade grounds of Giraffe Island Restaurant, Pub and Club in Cantonments, Accra, who are also the proud sponsors of the show. Giraffe Island, party in style. And the prize of 1,500 Ghana cedis is donated by Royal VVIP Transport. Royal VVIP Transport, providing you with great safety and comfort even on a budget. Players, welcome to the show. It's really a delight to see you all again. As you know, I'm Hydra.
Hi, Hydra! How are you doing today?
Aside the occasional glitching, I'm good. Thanks, Edna, for asking. All right, let's get cracking, and hope you don't mind me going clockwise. Great. Starting with you, Angela and Shadrach. Please tell me your team name if you have and any special strengths or strategies.
Yes, our team is Angels.
But we don't have any special strength. Yes, Miss. Right, inshallah.
Inshallah.
Patricia and Edna.
Well, our team name is Victoire.
Fancy.
Victoire.
Yes, and our special strength is we always have each other's back.
Sweeties. Kiki and Vanel.
Yes.
Our team name is Banky.
And our strength comes from God.
Interesting notes. Angels, Victoire, and Vanki, you will answer as a team, with 60 seconds to answer correctly, as many questions as you can. Each correct answer is worth 2 points. You may guess but cannot pass, as a point will be deducted if you do. With the clockwise move still in motion, Angie and Shadrach, I will start with you. Let's go. Good luck, Team Angels. Your Q&A starts now. What is James Bond's preferred drink of choice?
Wine.
What festival is celebrated by the Ga tribe in Ghana to shame hunger?
Como.
Which movie famously features the song My Heart Will Go On by Celine Dion?
Oh, 7.
True or false? All snakes are venomous.
True.
Riddle, what is dark but made by light? What is the next prime number after 7?
9.
What are substances or materials that resist the flow of electricity through them called... Thank you, Angels. Your time is up. Up next is Team Victoire. Good luck, your 60 seconds begin now. What name is given to the cocktail made with coconut milk, rum, and pineapple?
Mojito.
What is Africa's known newest country? What is Africa's known newest country?
Country.
Yes, country. What is the color of Santa Claus's belt?
White.
My chemical formula is NaCl. What is my common name?
Sodium. Sodium chloride. NaCl.
Which is the only known monster addicted to cookies? Which football club is known to have won the most Champions League titles?
Chelsea.
Riddle. What begins with a T, ends with a T, and has T in it?
That's.
True or false? The Eiffel Tower is in Belgium.
False.
What is the square root of 144?
20.
Team Victoa, your time is up. Thank you. All right, Team Vanke. Let's hope for the divine intervention you mentioned. Good luck, Team Vanke. Q&A starts now.
Okay.
Which soft drink was known to have been invented during World War II?
Coca-Cola.
What is known to be the Holy Book of Islam?
The Holy Quran.
What famous movie character is known for saying, "I'll be back"?
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
True or false? There are 16 days in a fortnight.
True.
What dish made from crushed durum wheat is known to be a staple of Western North Africa?
Wheat. Porridge.
Riddle.
What has cities but no houses? Forests without trees and water but no fish.
Soup.
What is 100 divided by 4?
25.
Where was singer Adele born?
Canada.
I am common referred to as limestone. What is my chemical name?
Calcium carbonate.
Thank you, Team Vanke. Your time is up. Really? Vanel? I would like to know more about the soup with trees. Not sure what to say, but Q&A round was a bomb. Fingers crossed. Task round will be a blast. A good one. A break and then a peek at the scoreboard. Please stay with us. Welcome back to round 2, everyone, which is also the task round. Lovelies, please, a quick mention that you follow us on Instagram and watch us on YouTube for all the interesting bits and unanswered questions. And, as shocking as it may be, we have a winner, Team Vanke. So, Team Vanke.
Vanke!
Kindly read out what's in the envelope, after which I will reveal your advantage. Thank you.
Hi players, today it's a group task. One half of the duo will take turns singing first aid safety tips using the tune of the nursery rhyme Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, while the other half sketches the